up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Oh, look at me. I'm retarded. I'm a globe.
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind, coming to you 250 miles above your imagination from the International Fake Station. I'm up here with my co-pilot and good friend Something Wong. Sorry, folks in Florida, for all the little tornadoes that happened during the hurricane. Something Wong hit the wrong button. Just go and figure. I told him not to hit that. He thought the T was for tea to drink, and I told him it was for tornado. He wanted to argue with me in Chinese and then turned around and hit the button anyway. So anyways, he's been scolded and disciplined for that, and we'll have him back here making sure that we fly along straight and level across this beautiful plain of ours. We've got a friend of mine here tonight, Break the Veil. I know him as Sebastian, but you just call him Break because he likes that. You can say, yo, Break, what up, dude? Let's bring him up. What's happening, my man?
What's going on, man?
You having a good night so far?
Oh yeah, trying to, man, trying to.
Awesome.
The more I read, the worse it gets. So I'll stop.
I know, isn't it something? Start doing a little digging into some shit, and boy, next thing you know, you're down a rabbit hole.
Oh yeah, 4 hours.
Welcome to my
by.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from what I'm understanding here, you're starting a new channel. There's no videos up yet. Look at, there's Lowry here. We're going to give a shout out to everybody. We're letting a few people show up. We got 57 viewing over here right now on YouTube. And I don't know. I'm not even in the Rumble yet. I set it up and never went in. Now we're in. Let's see what happens when we go in. Is it going to give us anything? Yeah, it does. And it looks like got 2 people. Nobody in the chat right now. We will, but that's liable to change. Who knows? Look at here in this chat. Oh my God, you got Jehovah's lovely daughter Barbara's here with us tonight. We got Mr. Super Sidewinder. Great music he's been putting together. He records himself with other people, you know, and he's put some stuff out. Well, one of y'all can put a link in there to some of your songs that I was listening to one yesterday or day before. My days run together. Yeah, because I'm slipping in and out of human time, dog time, human time, dog time. Yeah. Like that. It's crazy shit, man. So we got Mojo Shop in the house. We got Shannon Emerson here with us tonight. We've got Heron Song 1977. How are you doing? Tony Coriolis, how you doing, my little man? I like that guy, Tony. He's cool. You see, he's come on here a few times too. Let's see who else we got. Eldon Bean, Greg Brayton is with us tonight. Another tinfoil hat wearer, absolutely card carrying, and has the hat just like Sav does here. We had a panel the other night. There was 3 out of the 4 people on there had a hat with saying tinfoil on it. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Nice.
In fact, there's tinfoil 72 with us right there. With us. We got Half Warriors with us. Good to see you, Half Warrior. Twilight Nights. Twilight, I'm disappointed you weren't first in the chat. I don't believe tonight. I don't. Did you and ZXL Master stop competing for who was going to leave the first static comment? I mean, ZXL Master is like taking the cake on this whole thing. Every time I look, my shit's not even off the air a minute, and I look, and there's a comment by ZXL Master saying, "Oh, first comment." I'm like,
yeah.
all right, cool. I don't know. There's Angela Baby Carson with a blue heart. We like the blue hearts. We got who else? Jeff Gashead with us and Saddlebomb. Lowry. We got all the good people here with us tonight. This is really
There's
a good
lot
group.
of people coming up in here.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is a great group of people we get in the chat. It's relatively troll free. It just works out that way. Don't have to do a whole lot of blocking. There's just been a few that I've had to that I find to be they're just dangerous individuals. And outside of that, boom, we have a great group of people, great fan base here. And so Sebastian, he got a hold of me today and he said, I'm going to start this channel and I'm going to start focusing. He sent me this PDF file. He's going to bring up some stuff about that, I'm sure. And it's a PDF. Let me see. I scrolled down. I was just kind of glossing over this thing. This is from the 60s.
Yeah, man, goes all the way, dates back. And then if you read some of it, these are people talking about points of views that date all the way back to the 50s.
Yeah,
Like,
see, this is
these.
what weather and climate modification.
Mhm.
And it's a report of the Special Commission on Weather Modification from the National Science Foundation. And I believe if I'm not mistaken, there was a date on this.
1958, I think I've seen. It's only like one of the first ones.
I think it was
1965.
65. Yeah. So this
December
thing's
20th.
This thing's the same age as me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, they can't control the weather.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Since I was a little kid, right? Yeah, since I was born. Shit. Maybe it was because I was born that weather modification. See, there you go. There's correlation bias right there.
Yeah.
If I hadn't been born, would there be weather modification? Who knows? Probably not. See?
Exactly. Well, see, and that's what honestly you talk about driving to do this. Like, yes, it was the other day I was at work and I heard we were talking about it, spitballing, and a lady was just she snapped. Said there's no proof. They can't control the weather. Yeah, they can do cloud seeding, but they can't control the weather. Oh, dude, she got mad. And I was like, look, bam, 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 bam. Here's all the facts. I'll present it to you. Where's yours? And she was just like, yeah, nah, not done with it. That's what I heard. I was like, So after that, it's like seeing it. And then she was relatively, I'd say she's probably 60 in her 60s, I think, 50s, 60s. And yeah, just hard on. And then she's like, oh, love Joe Biden, all that stuff. So that's that type of
Lord.
I was like, yeah, okay. But after that, it really just drove me like, okay, hold on, we got to break this down because some people really don't believe it that they can do anything. It's ridiculous.
Right. Yeah, I
It's
mean,
ridiculous.
nobody's by any means saying that, and this is the way they go. They always try to treat it like because they use this type of thinking, and I'm talking about these NPC, these people that are all in that kind of thing. They take it when you say something like that they can control the weather. They try to straw man it into you saying that, oh, you're saying they control all the weather. No one is saying that they control all the weather. Okay, that's like saying, crows are black birds, therefore all black birds must be crows. No, no,
No.
that's illogical, right? So we're not saying that. What we are saying is that we know that they're one of their biggest strategies of control, and they've admitted this on record. I think one of the first people to actually put it out there was Rahm Emanuel when he said, "Never let a crisis go to waste." Right?
Okay.
That as well would work along the strategy of never miss an opportunity to enhance a crisis,
Oh
you
yeah.
know?
Oh yeah. And that's yeah, I'm diving into that a lot more. Oh
See,
yeah.
that's the whole thing right there. And people, and it's all the time, it's like people are looking for some kind of a singular cause, and it's like you gotta think in terms of cocktail. You gotta think no, it's not just frequency. No,
No.
it's not just aerosolized particles. No, it's not just water temperature. I mean,
All
it's a
of these
cocktail of
factor
things that
in.
they work with together, and they
Mhm.
know this. They know this. It's the same thing with like certain medical procedures that people went ahead and enhanced themselves with in the last 4 years. Um, it's not the one that does it. It's the combination of the and the and the all
Yeah.
together working together to create the effect. You see, that's what
Oh yeah.
people don't get. It's like during the Spanish flu, it was people that took aspirin for their fever after receiving that died.
I, and yeah, all the stuff that's coming out with that now, I've just been like, yeah, exactly. This is why we were all saying it. And now it's coming out, what, 4 or 5 years later?
Yeah,
It's 5 years, yeah. And it's like, dude, I'm sorry, like I don't know what else to tell you. I,
yeah. I mean, and
it's
think
right in
about
your
all the
face.
people lost their channels for saying shit about it.
Yeah.
Lost
Hmm.
their Facebook and Twitter accounts and shit like that for trying to warn people of stuff. And what we're finding out is, conspiracy theorists are like, we were we scored every time. I mean, it's like
You
every
can't call
fucking
it
time.
theorist anymore. It's
No,
at this
no.
point, if you're right so many times, like it's just called common sense at this point. But they're making it towards illegal to have common sense.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
it's uh,
Yes. Yes. And yeah, there you go. In the algorithm, what they do is they rely on an AI to do it. Well, this
mhm.
is what you have to ask yourself. Why is it so important? Why would words be dangerous? I mean, if they didn't think they had people programmed to respond to information based on their perceptions, then they wouldn't have to worry about people whatever they say, because that's them admitting that they've made people to a point where they cannot use their own sound judgment. They cannot use their own reasoning. They cannot use their own um, thinking abilities. They go, oh, well, so and so said this, that, and the other, and my perception of him is that he is very, very smart. Although I've never met him, and I see him on the television reading a teleprompter, I believe that he is really, really smart. Therefore, I don't have to do any thinking on it. I'll just do what he says. You
Yeah,
see
yeah.
that?
It's a lot easier to just do what you're told than what it is to use your own brain to think and work out the truth. It's a lot easier. And that's where it all comes in, man. The worst part of it all is it all started with all this technology, all the gaming, all the other stuff. Keeps you busy, keeps you distracted, keeps your dopamine levels up with TV, all that. If they keep
Mhm.
you working, keep you distracted with that, they just know that they can tell you whatever they want because they've given you this stuff and that appeases you. And then they can do what they want behind the scenes. And it's the curtain's opening. It's opening. And a lot of people are starting to see it now.
Sure.
Just not
Let
enough. Mhm.
me see if I can find that damn thing. Um, so yeah, you that's what prompted you was this discussion. Well, how long of a discussion was it with this woman? It sounds like she
Oh,
was kind of an
five
NPC,
minutes.
all in. One of those
Yeah,
it's all
pretty
in with
much.
everything.
Yeah, because it was something with my lady and I. It was something that we were talking about, and she said, well, she brought it up saying something about the rain or whatever, And my lady was like, "Yeah, well, they gotta make sure that thing comes in, all that." And then she just snapped like mad, dude. Like it
Mm.
triggered that word they love to say. It triggered her, and she, oh yeah, dude, she snapped and was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna argue with you. You're uneducated. We were educated differently, and I'm not gonna argue. You're pissing me off." All that. I'm like, whoa, whoa. Nah, it's not that serious. Like, and like I say, like literally, just to find out, all you gotta do is look it up on Google. They want to use it for everything else and quote it for that, but they won't just do one simple search to see the answer. Too prideful. They grew up in
You
their own
well
ways.
that and you that was what I like to call the Agent Smith effect. Okay, that
Okay.
was like the Agent Smith effect, right? Remember the old lady baking cookies, and then all of a sudden she just like fucking turned into Agent Smith and attacked Neo,
Okay, yeah.
right? That's what happens.
Uh-huh.
Agent Smith can pop up through any one of these NPCs at any given time based on their programming, man. That's what I think is actually going on. I thought this was
Yeah.
pretty good right here. So I posted this today. There are two types of people: those that can extrapolate from limited information.
Sad to say, it took me a minute earlier when I seen it to get it what it meant. I was like, "Where's
Yeah,
the other
yeah,
one?"
yeah. And you're
I was
like, and
like,
then what? And then
"Oh
you go, oh
shit!
fuck,
Oh,
yeah,
you
yeah,
got
yeah.
me."
I get it. Yep.
Yep. Yep.
That's but yeah, I think you were in touch. Is it somebody you know, or is it just like a random?
She knows her more than I do. She like they work together. Like she's worked
Oh,
up at there for like 30 years.
oh, you was
I've
up
only
there
been
on the
there for
mountain.
recently. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I
Yeah,
honestly, the Euro lady might know her too. That's what her and I was talking about. Because she's been there for that long and was real
I
cool. But
probably know her
yeah,
then. I
you
probably know her
probably
then
do.
without saying any names or
Yeah.
anything. Put it in
No,
the
no.
private chat. Just put it in the private chat. There's a over
Oh,
on the
I
right.
got
There's
you.
a
I
private
see it.
chat thing because if I'm probably right. Listen, that place is like I've never seen. No, this is no kidding, man. Up there in that park, I've never seen a place that drew so many homosexuals and left wing thinking people ever in my life. And it's
Oh,
so bizarre because, like, right here in the middle of where we are,
well,
and
what's
then
left
there
of
to be, it's almost like a bastion of communism up
them.
in the park. It's fucking
Hmm.
crazy, man.
That's why I'm glad I just do security. I ain't got to deal with any of them. No, thank you.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, that
I
makes a lot of
figured.
sense. Yeah,
Yeah, okay,
that
yeah, we
makes
got
a lot of sense. Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that honestly is what drove me to do it, and I just kind of been digging ever since. It's because I don't know, people shouldn't be acting like that for one over a debate. Like that's ridiculous.
Well, it's this I don't know what drives it, but it's like there's this ultimate trust in the system while simultaneously not trusting the system. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like these people you'll ask them, say, "Well, you're against guns," and they'll say, "Yeah." And I say, "Well, how do you propose to get people's guns?" And they say, "Well, we'll do a buyback." And I say, "Well, what if I don't want to sell mine?" And I said, "Well, then the police will come." "Oh, wait a second. They're going to come with guns
To take your
using the
gun.
method that you're against to take my gun." Okay. All right. So you think that the government should only be the ones that have guns? Yes. Do you trust your government? No, not really. Are you retarded? That's my next question right there. Are you retarded?
No, I don't. And it take the guns away. Okay, that's cool. I mean, we can see what's going to happen over in UK. It's happening a lot. It's going to just be more stabbings, like things like that. You're not going to be able to stop a violent person from doing something like that. And that's what's
No,
irritating to me. It sounds so cliche. It's not the gun that's killing somebody. It's the person holding it. But we
right,
blame the
right.
tool instead of the man.
Well, and it's the use of these terms. Okay, the use of these terms. Gun violence. Okay, well, if I used a hammer on somebody, would that be hammer violence? No, right? Or if I ran someone over with my car, would that be car violence?
Vehicular manslaughter
I mean,
is
it's
what it's.
basically what it is. It's violence. The method of which you conduct that violence is irrelevant. Okay, it's irrelevant, completely irrelevant. Okay,
I
the violence is the crime. Okay,
yes.
that's all. That's all. It doesn't matter how you do it, whether you set up a thing of bird seed with an anvil over top of it, or you just straight up shoot. That is a act of violence. Doesn't matter. What are you
Exactly.
gonna crazy? So you said you found some interesting shit in this. Did you have some highlights that you wanted to share with us about the
All right.
document this evening? We'll be glad to look at that as well. Perhaps might have some other information on this as well. I'm seeing a lot of people though, I know how frustrating that can be to run across people like that, and you just got to keep it in mind. It's like, yeah, okay, I already know
Not
that one.
worth
They're
it.
hopeless. They're hopeless.
Yeah,
They're hopeless.
exactly. Too far gone.
You all, were they ever there to begin with to be gone? That's my point. I think that there are a certain amount of people that wander around that don't have conscious souls, that they don't have an inner dialogue at all.
No.
They just fill space, kind of like, when they have those awards programs on TV, where
The
there's not
Oscars and stuff.
people,
Yeah.
where there's not famous people setting, they hire people to sit in their seats. Like if a guy gets up to go take a shit or something, if Al Pacino gets up to go take a dump, they got a guy, they pay him to sit in his seat. Okay. These NPCs are like that. They're seat fillers in this fucking weird. Did you see that weird
I didn't
thing,
know
man? It's
that.
going around. These people refracted a laser onto the wall, and on DMT, they all saw the same shit. They saw like lines of code running in the wall.
No, I didn't. Do you have that?
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
Yeah,
Send it
let
to
me
me
see if I can
sometime
find
if you can't
something
find
on
it.
that. Where did I get that from? I'll look for that. Yeah, let me see. There's lines of code.
Well, yeah, pretty much. I guess while he's looking it up, if you don't believe that the government is controlling the weather, I mean, it's pretty obvious. And I got PDFs that says quite literally they do, and you can look it up right on their website, National Science Foundation. All of it's there, and I'll be screen sharing some of the stuff, all the different statutes that was put in law too with that.
Okay, yeah, here it is. Check this out.
All right.
Man, I'm getting good at this thing.
Seeing the same thing.
Oh my God. It's changing shapes right there.
The laser was revealing numbers and letters running in a pattern.
Pyramid's like this big here, and it looks like code.
It looked like programming code.
It's definitely saying something, and I just want to take a picture of it and translate it. Wow. You see that?
Okay, so yeah, it's not stuck.
No.
It's not because of the light.
No, it's on its own side. Light is just literally revealing it.
And each angle shows you different layers, different ways through it.
I could see through the wall. It's not like a hallucination. It has spatial awareness and permanence. I don't know. Whoa.
For centuries, mankind has attempted to explore these psychedelic, altered states, but we've never had a repeatable, testable phenomenon to observe until now.
Wow. I'm obsessed.
It's like you can see through the laser into another dimension.
I mean, like, take yourself to that. Like, I just made a connection that nobody made before, which is a simple connection. The claim is, if you project a diffracted laser on the surface and you smoke DMT, you will see code running in surfaces. Yes, like in the Matrix.
So there are a few possibilities. One,
I lost my mind. which is the coolest losing your mind ever in history.
The second option is that
This is the biggest discovery of humankind. If anybody ever asked themselves what it would be like to know you live in the Matrix for sure, well, I know for sure. I'm convinced.
So where do we go from here? All I know is
It's about to get crazy.
No, that's pretty
have
crazy.
to try that. We'll have to try that, man.
Yeah, definitely. Well, see, I was wondering because it looked like it was showing up in Chinese lettering.
It's and it's amazing. You see, that's the thing. That's the weird thing about DMT is that people all have the same experience.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they see the same things. They run into the same quote unquote entities. It's amazing,
Yeah.
man.
Oh man, yeah, that's
I've
pretty
seen
cool.
But yeah, I mean, when you run across, that's why I say I think there's some of these people that are in this, I don't know, matrix simulation, whatever the fuck it is, that I think they're just soulless beings. You know, they're just like placeholders. You know, it might come down to a thing. It might come down to a thing where when you like die finally, when you leave this place and then you wake up and you're in some kind of a fucking video game pod. And that's all this was just some kind of a fucking simulation and shit. And you're like, whoa, that was really trippy. Did you learn your lessons? Yes, I did. You know, oh shit.
Oh, okay. Cool. So, all right. So
Might
this
have
is
to,
one of the.
might have to blow that up a little bit.
Yeah, I got you. So this is oops, if it'll work.
You got a wheel on your mouse?
There we go.
There you
All
go.
right. It was locked. All right. So this would be one of the first sections in the legal and legislative aspect of the PDF, which I think is down at 102. I can fact check that later. Going through, it's a bunch of jumbo. You can read it yourself. I just want to point out some of the things that I found interesting. They're talking pretty much about this is explaining how the weather modifications is capable in the field when possessed seems likely to possess the near future to keep it. Yeah, ordering weather. So they're pretty much saying that yes, they can order weather. Let's see, even limited capacity to modify weather would pose problems to grant complexity. So right through all this, they're talking about how they're explaining it, but how it could be a problem, which you'll see they have a whole pact with other countries to make sure that it doesn't fall back on their side when they start a hurricane, things like that. Right here, what got me is
it says even a limited capacity to modify weather would pose problems of great complexity. Yeah. Nature of the problem is demonstrated by what might result in the present experiments in the disarming of hurricanes are successful. At first blush, it was supposed that no one could object to the dissipation of destructive storms such as hurricanes. However, there seems to be at least some opinion that the substantial amount of the rainfall in the Northeast comes about as a result of hurricane activity. It might then turn out that hurricanes are a necessary part of the distribution of rainfall. Right. It could, it's not nice to fool Mother Nature.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So they're just trying to go over the through this. They'll talk about all the troubles that it could cause. That I just wanted to show that one there. The other ones go a little more. Let me see. Can I pull this one up?
See, the thing is this is what's really so important about this too. And then you go ahead and continue looking for what you got to get. Look, they've been fucking with this shit for a long time. Okay, they've been really screwing with this for a long time. This isn't like it's something brand new. And here we are, we're a quarter of the way into the 21st century. Okay. And shit should be really, come on. We're talking about this is from 1965. Okay. We hadn't even sent a man to the moon yet. Okay. 1965.
Oh yeah.
That was the year that what was that guy's name? And nobody can find out much about him. Oh shit. He said that the moon was plasma. Forrester, Dr. Forrester. And he
Okay.
said that the moon was plasma. You've seen that old clip of him talking. He says, well, the moon is not someplace anyone can go. So you see, the moon is actually plasma.
Yeah, I mean, theoretically, you could be right.
Yeah, I think he's on to something. No, you
Just
can't find fucking shit on the guy.
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, I'll have to look his name up. I'll have to see if I can find something because that's
Oh,
interesting.
there's Dr. Forster's out there, but you can't find him. That
The
one.
Dr. Forrester.
That
Yeah,
guy.
I got you. So right here, it's saying, whatever the scientific truth may be, weather modification activities are being conducted, and many people believe those activities have effect, both beneficial and I don't even know what that word is.
It
Said
says, whatever the scientific truth may be, weather modification activities are being conducted, and many people believe those activities have effects both beneficial and deleterious. Indeed, some 22 states have already enacted legislation dealing with those activities. Now, and that's 1965. They already had fucking legislation in place saying
already had over almost half of the country written into this thing. Yeah, and that's why, like, down here, the existing involvement of weather modification with law is, broadly speaking, of two kinds: the body of rules governing and the responsibilities and liabilities of weather modifications, or those who employ their services, to other members of the public, and regulation by the government, most often by states, of weather modification activities. Right. Yeah. I mean, right here, it'll talk a little bit about how, there's two different types of injuries that it can cause, your floods, your hails, hurricanes, damages, like all the bridges and stuff we've been seeing go down, getting flooded. Oh, okay, cool. I can just sift through. Awesome. But there's actually been people, and this is why I'm saying, people, if you don't believe that it's true, there are legal public documents that you can look up. And this is in the 60s right now that this was documented. There was already 6 lawsuits because it was messing with people's agricultural stuff, their farms, their crops, all of it, and they were getting pissed off about it, man. Which they bring up here. They said the city of New York, the New York court held that public interest is ending a prevailing drought outweighed the resort owner's interest in good weather. So with that, they're finding, you'll read over here too more about it, they're having a problem with, now that they have the weather modifications, they're having farmers that need it and want it, and they're having these resorts, these big companies that's owning the resorts are clashing because their interests are two different things.
Right.
Oh yeah. And through all of this, out of all 6 lawsuits, as far as I've read, because some of the fine prints are down here, I don't want to get through all that, but I think none of them, I think one is still an open case, still to this day. You have to fact check me. That's what I've gathered from it. I haven't fact checked that yet. But all the other ones were denied. They were saying that didn't meet the standards, like, they couldn't help them with compensation or things like that with the lawsuit. Let's see.
There's Lowry showed up in here finally.
So
Lowry.
This is the section where they talk about this is where it comes into the international stuff, the Soviets and how they all, because let's be honest, we can do it over here, they can do it over there. So
right.
It's saying that, it might seem therefore that weather modifications had little to do with international relations or considerations in foreign policy.
Well, that certainly changed because there's
Yeah, I was gonna say, look, that didn't age
yeah, 'cause
well.
they have treaties. They have built. It's in treaties. Weather warfare.
They
That's
have that
bullshit.
now, and actually, I think I have it. Yeah, I should have the statute that we actually have one of those set up now.
Thank you,
So
Gonzalez. Gonzalez says, my thoughts are with everyone in the U.S. who's suffering from the storms. And then in the Netherlands, she's in the Netherlands there. Yeah. Listen, the media is really not reporting on it, and of course, Florida just, thank God. I think the death toll in Florida was relatively low. Thank God the thing lost strength as it came in, I guess. Our friend Austin Thompson from Melodome and of course FMX. I know Matthew Tweel. They're all down there in this shit, and now having to, I think, deal with the aftermath. Austin said there was fucking cars upside down on people's roofs and shit, man. So yeah, I mean, tornadoes coming down in the middle of that's unheard of. I don't think that's ever been recorded in history happening in that type of a situation before. So yeah. I'm glad everybody's okay. I hope the property damage was as minimal as possible, but some places aren't looking good, especially Key West and areas like that. And just think, if we'd have just renamed those areas Ukraine and Israel, then we would have got all the funding we needed for them, shit. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, you're good. Let's see. There was so evidence before us suggests that attempts the augmented rainfall over areas a few thousand square miles. So what they're saying in this is that with what I've gathered from it, at least, the stuff that they're doing, they're trying to keep in consideration, because if it's severe enough, they can like this category 5 we just had, it can go thousands of square miles, and it could intercept or go over there and piss off someone else. And that, you got to be careful with that. And that's why I also I looked at it and I took note. We had a category 5 hurricane. It's one of the bigger ones, and it was coming straight through. It didn't want to go up. They didn't want to risk it to go up and back out. They wanted it just to plow through, and that's what I gathered from it. So actually I got a video that'll show different things that I'll bring up later with manipulating it with laser beams and shit. It's kind of weird. Like you said earlier, it's not, a lot of people don't understand. It's not just, like you said, it's not just frequencies. It's not just these beams. It's a cocktail of all of it that makes it possible, makes it big, makes it happen. So that's you gotta get out of that mindset. Oh wow, yeah, we got more people. What's going on, Silas?
We got all the peeps up here, yo. What's happening? Bane Bear is up here with us. We got Roger Ledwell.
What's up, people?
What's happening, Raj?
Hello.
Oh, I want to be like Rerun. Hey, Raj, what's happening?
Here, I thought it was interesting. The rudimentary attempts have already been made to influence the intensity of hurricanes over international waters. Although no success has been claimed, the probability of success in future attempts is somewhat greater than zero. When you're reading this, keep in mind, 1965.
Right.
We are now in 2024.
Well,
So.
That one they did in, I think it was 1947. And I think it was General Electric was dicking with it or something. Anyways, he was like, yeah, we did it, right? And it was like, no, we looked into it and it's done that before. It was like, shut up, idiot. We're going to get lawsuits all over the place. It was like, no, we don't think you had any influence on it. Bullshit. That guy was happy as hell that he'd done it. That's why he claimed it out there.
Were you guys hurricane at all? Did you guys have any effect? I lost power for 8.5 days, and it took down more trees than I've seen in any storm anywhere ever.
Where are you at, Bane Bear?
I'm in Greenville, South Carolina.
Oh, great day in the morning. Yeah, no, we got rain. We got rain pretty heavy up here. Nothing too bad. I mean, the ground got saturated, but that was prior to any of this it wasn't like that yesterday.
That was from
or today.
Helena. Yeah, that was from Helena. It wasn't even from. We haven't gotten anything from Milton's, fortunately.
Yeah, it was from
Wow.
Helena.
So you were out of power for 8 days?
8.5 days. Yep.
Oh man, that sucks.
It was very in a lot of ways.
Yeah. So was your area impacted hard damage wise, or
Yeah, like I
in
said,
Greenville?
I'm 46 and I've lived here for 42 of my 46 years. I've never seen more trees broken, more power lines down. Like there's still people here without power. Like
Yeah, I'd imagine.
on 12, 13 days.
They said it was going to take 4 or 5 months to get the power on in some places.
That's probably North Carolina was actually hit way harder than us. And I don't want to conject on the whole weather modification thing, because I know a lot of that stuff is true, but I also know that the hand of God is very powerful. So it's like I lived through Hugo and stuff, and it was very similar.
Sure.
Like,
yeah, that's why I came on. Well, I went through it too. Went to Hugo.
Didn't they open didn't they have to open a dam up too, though?
I don't know all the specifications. Again, I'm like I wish I had the God's eye on it. Like I could see everything, all what the different variables were. I just thought just because I hadn't been on stream in a long time, and I was like, oh look, they put a StreamYard link. Let's jump on and be stupid.
It's a cocktail. I've got a thing I'll show here in a minute. I'm going to let Roger talk here in just a second, but I'll show a thing here in a minute. One of my viewers sent me. They said they were just, sitting there catching a buzz and thought, I want to check my weather app. And they looked at it and they went and looked down there, and there was like all these fucking pulses, like all coming out from these major areas, like some kind of a little pulse of radiation coming out of these central points, and then that thing formed up. I don't know. We'll take a look at it here in a few minutes. What'd you have there, Roger? You wanted to talk something about Hugo?
Yeah, Hugo was known that they told me that it spawned 200 tornadoes when it hit the Piedmont. Because of the level of the ground is lower, it just dropped, and all the pressure dispersed into little ravines, and it made little pockets and started tornadoes.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Yeah, I had never heard about that.
Yeah, well, I had one go behind our house when I was going through it. We were sitting out in a truck. Actually, all the power was out, and we were hunkered down in the truck, which is probably stupid, but.
They're loud, ain't they? Don't they sound fucking crazy?
They howl, dude. And then
man.
When the pressure gets close to you, you feel it.
Yeah, it's like a train, there's a squeal and a roar all at the same time. It's I never heard nothing like one before. We had one touchdown when I lived up in Michigan nearby.
Well, it does change pressure systems in a lot of different ways. Like after we got hit by Helene and then Milton came through, Milton didn't affect South Carolina at all, but as soon as Milton hit, fall was definitely here. Like something happened to where it literally dropped down 10 degrees here just 2 days ago. I think it was right as Milton was hitting. And I don't know if it's just because it's fall, but it's been warm here. We've had 80, 85, 90 degree days, and then all of a sudden it's like boom, it's cold.
Yep. It dropped like that here. It's 48 tonight,
Yeah, same as last night. It was pretty rough. Ooh.
Yeah, it got chilly. And then during the day, getting up maybe in the high 60s, low 70s. So yeah, fall's here now. I'll tell you something that's kind of weird, man. I have this tulip poplar out in the backyard here. It's been growing great. Had it there a couple of years. It's probably doubled in size. They grow really fast. They grow really tall. Nice. And there were some leaves fell off of it, and that's starting to happen with some of the trees around here. That's to be expected in October. And I was walking along and I picked one up off the ground, and I looked at it, and it was all brown except for one little spot in the middle of it that was green, as though it was just alive yesterday, or like you just picked it off. And I've got leaves on the tree that are like that they're, and there's other trees too, where the edges of the leaves are all dead, or half of the leaf is dead, and the other half where it's not even hooked to the stem is still not. It's like almost like the sun has been fucking with the plants hard or something, man. I could feel it on my back the other day. I was out there and it was total cloud cover. I couldn't tell the location of the sun by looking, but I could feel it.
Yeah, I get you.
And I was like,
Maybe-
it's right. I could tell the angle and everything it was coming from.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something to do with they're spraying, the chemicals in the air.
Well,
making
yeah,
the
there
sun-
again, an ingredient to the
weather
to the
thing,
cocktail. It's
water
like,
vapors.
Can I throw an odd theory out there? It's like, yeah, it's documented, spray stuff in the air. It's documented that they're trying, quote unquote, trying weather modification and stuff. Do you ever realize or think that is akin to the whole thing of nukes, where they claim every country has one and they're real, but they're not real because we blew up, if you look it up, 1,972 nukes on U.S. soil. They built Las Vegas so that you could watch them testing them 75 miles away. So how does Vegas exist? So it's like Hiroshima,
Right.
Nagasaki, Bikini Atoll, like, not even in the top 20 of the most destroyed cities in World War II. And only one Jewish reporter was allowed to report it on cause of death if you did. So it's like, I don't know, it's the whole, like, I don't believe man can really destroy what God created with just the push of a button. Just like, oh, it's like if God was looking down, like, oh, that's cute, weather modification. Let me show you something. Because I mean, even modification did have something into it. What did man do? Really, 2%, 3%? Like, because the joke is, it took an act of God for me to get a day off, and even I literally got one day off, and after the storm, I've been working 12 to 15-hour days every. And that's with no power. I'm a plumber, and there are people that'll be like, "Oh, I don't want you to come to my property because I don't have power." I'm like, "We don't have power, but if I can get your natural gas water heater to fire up, you can have hot showers in the dark."
Yeah.
There
Better
you
than
go.
nothing. Yeah.
Well, there is, if you look and dig deep, I wish I don't have it. I got too many tabs right now, but there is public record back in the 80s, 90s. I think it might have been sooner, but North Carolina there's two states that we actually accidentally nuked ourselves on. North Carolina was one of them, and they try to suppress that stuff. I really had to dig for it, but evidently it was North Carolina and another state that would, on the flight over, pilots messed up or the machine messed up, and we accidentally nuked ourselves.
I think
now the capacity
of
of a big nuke, I can't tell you, but
I don't.
We definitely could. If you do the math on radiation and all that, we really could just destroy the Earth.
Well,
if it was enough of us blowing nukes at the same time, you really at least blow a hole in it.
Again, I don't believe nukes are real. Like, literally cover things up constantly. Like the blasting in Las Vegas, he who controls the energy controls the world. How do you know they weren't just mining for uranium, plutonium? Okay, the whole Area 51, yeah, that's probably where they're mining uranium and plutonium.
Now that makes sense. I can get behind that. And the good way to cover that up is aliens.
It's a lot more feasible to look at the logistics that they were probably blasting and mining for uranium and plutonium to control nuclear power and power around the world, and just say, oh, we're testing nukes 70 miles outside of Vegas, but everybody will be fine, and there's Area 51. And what? I mean, if you look at Chernobyl, has an animal sanctuary.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, look here. Here's what I'm getting at with this weather modification shit. Okay. I'm as old as this document that we're looking at here. Okay. And in my lifetime, I've seen new things in the sky that weren't there before. We used to have blue skies.
Yeah.
With puffy white clouds. And now there was never, once in a while, you would see a jet really high up in the air leaving a contrail, but that contrail would disappear at a certain rate, about the same rate as the jet was going. You would see it dissipate all the way across the sky. You didn't have these lines that show up and turn into these spread out gray, milky fucking skies that wasn't there. Another thing that wasn't there was these little patterns that look like your Wi-Fi signal of clouds. We didn't have that. So if they're only been trying to do this since all this time and they've been unsuccessful, they would have given up by now. Okay, but there is obviously a lot of money being spent in a concentrated effort to put this shit in our skies, to have this 5G shit that nobody wanted. Nobody wanted that. I still, even though we got 5Gs, I have nobody's not seen anybody downloading a gazillion fucking movies in a second or any of that other claims that they said was so great about it. Okay, none whatsoever. They came in and secretly put that shit in all over the place while everybody was on lockdown. So if it's not real, they sure are putting a fucking concentrated amount of effort into the ingredients that go along with such a program.
But wait,
who not to be? I mean, we're just trying. Bullshit. Since 1955, if I've been trying for 59 damn years, I sure as hell would have, and hadn't made any progress, I would give up by now. Fuck that. Right?
Wait, who was locked down? The lockdown was a choice, just like they make trailers before they actually make the movie.
Well, the sheep were locked down. The sheep were locked down.
Yeah.
Okay. And that unfortunately, at the beginning of that was a majority of the people. But those that were just following the crowd, basically following a bunch of NPCs, they started to gain their consciousness back. They started to wake up. They started to look into things. And this is one of the reasons that there's more and more. The people that were amongst the chattel are now waking up and realizing, hey, what am I doing? Why am I going with the flow? I'm finding out the flow is going towards someplace I don't want to be. That's why I always tell people, when you go with the flow, there's only two things that go with the flow.
Dead salmon. Yeah.
Dead fish and shit.
Hey,
Yeah,
Dave,
man.
I wanted to mention one thing where I'm going to step off, but look at the path that Hugo took, his origins and the path. They're nothing alike. It's like their origins are completely different. I think these last two were definitely tampered with compared to a natural hurricane for where they normally come from.
Yeah, I do as well. I do as well. And of course, I think that every time something like this is done, whether it be an attack on New York from terrorists or whatever the event or crisis happens to be, it's always multifaceted. It's there again, a cocktail of things. All right. And look at all the wonderful things that were brought to us by the events of 9/11. We don't have, I mean, think about it. We got Homeland Security, TSA, NDAA, Patriot Act, all kinds of bullshit, militarization of the police departments. I mean, come on. It was multifaceted. It was part of that totalitarian tiptoe. It was one more step in that direction. And we tolerated it through emotion. We let our emotions cloud our common sense and thinking. And millions of people lost their lives because of it. Because we went on pathos.
Yeah, but from what I heard, Building 7 identified as a controlled demolition.
Yeah, but one of those buildings that nobody ever looked into is Building 6. Look into that one. There was another building, Building 6. It actually was exploded, not imploded. They blew it up from the inside. There was nothing hit it, nothing, but it was just glanced over like nobody knew what happened. But it's
what are you? Are you on the side of the terrorists or something, Roger?
During 9/11,
that was the kind of shit. That's how they shut it up. That's how they shut it up. That's like every time when I bring up Trump's ear, they go, "Oh, you must be. You like Harris?" No, I think they're both fucked up, man.
Wait.
I said, basically, here's what happened. They had two shit sandwiches, and they put some ketchup on one so that it didn't taste as bad as the other. Here you go. I mean, that's what you got. It's still a shit sandwich.
I prefer sand on my shit sandwich, Dave.
You can have whatever you want on it, as long as you eat the sandwich, as long as you go participate in that fucking suggestion box of slaves.
I think the shooting Trump was also kind of too questionably fake, but that's just me. I have a lot of weird thoughts. Like I dated a girl that was there for 9/11 and she never saw any planes. So that was the first thing that got me started.
Oh no, yeah, there were no planes.
There were no planes. But she for sure saw people jumping from the buildings and for sure saw those buildings go down. And I had nightmares for weeks. But the whole Trump thing, I'm always like, the whole he got shot, that might have been just a ploy to get popularity points up. At some point, like
there's one key thing that points to it, right? And the biggest thing right there is there's no bullet wound.
No, Dave, there was a bullet wound that just miraculously disappeared.
Yeah, well, he's Jesus Trump, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
I sometimes wonder if I am a descendant of Trump. I realize construction like shower.
If I ever find myself in a pickle,
reconstruct cartilage at will, because he says I'm a really fast healer. That's what they ask him about that. He says I'm a really fast healer. It's like, okay, good. That's a great answer. And you want to say that Harris is giving bullshit answers. Come on. You're all just a bunch of bullshit.
Everybody else's tanning bed. No one has a tanning bed like I do. It heals ears.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, listen, I appreciate you guys letting me on stream.
Right.
You guys have a good night. I got to get some sleep.
Yes,
all right.
I'm going to head out too, Dave. I'm going to do a show at 10. So.
All right, Roger.
I'll
put your link. Put your link in the thing over here too.
All right, Dave. I'll see you later.
All right, brother.
You guys enjoy the conversation.
All right, man. Have a good night. Yeah, man. So, yeah, they think that this is new shit, right? And here we are back in 1965 with this. Come on, and that's like I said, the amount of concentrated effort they're putting into. I mean, up to and including, keeping everybody in the dark, saying it was a conspiracy theory and shit. Now it's out there mainstream. They admit it that we're spraying shit up there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and they're saying it's water vapor and shit like that, which honestly it could another ingredient.
Water vapor would not do that.
No,
doesn't keep
not.
growing inside.
Yeah, exactly. But
that was obviously compressed.
This section, I don't know who it would apply to, but I know around in this area, we experienced a lot of this stuff recently, right before and during this hurricane. That's why I was like, all right, well, let me pull this up. Well, it says the situation, it's saying that if they do use it, the situation could be in which the drought of many months in duration in one section of the United States occurs. That big word, I'm not that educated. Was above normal rainfall. So for a while, I'd say, how long would you think if we were in that drought? That drought warning. I'd say it's probably 3 weeks, a month almost.
About a month, yeah.
About a month. Okay, so we have that, and that wasn't just Virginia. I think it was Maryland, Virginia. It was several East Coast places where this hurricane came from. On top of it, it was also saying that this could cause supercooled fog, and altering the intensity causes the hurricane and large-scale modifications of climate. There it is. Supercooled fog through something greater than 50% for rainfall. If you looked at the weather and looked at the percentage of fog, it was crazy. When I was driving, I couldn't see 3 feet in front of me because I drive at night a lot, and that's when a lot of the fog was rolling in. We had some in the daytime, but it was location depending. And then I looked at the river. Our river, all the way from one town to 2 towns over, had a cloud of fog just hanging over it. Obviously, that's normal, but nowhere else in these 2 towns had it at all. Nothing like that. Didn't even see it on the mountain. It was just floating right there above the river, just kind of going on up. And this was right before Milton. And that's why I'm like, so with dense fogs like that, and it was very wet, like we said, 40 some degrees, it's been 50 some degrees. It's insane.
Oh, I heard there was some kind of thing down in Florida too going on where there was people having trouble. They couldn't get their cars to start.
Yeah.
They were
Mm-hmm.
trying to evacuate. I don't know if that's just somebody making up some bullshit. See, that's where you got to be careful in this day and age because of these. I don't know what the purpose. I can only speculate. There's people that put out shit that's just obviously ridiculous and fake and trying to pass it off like it's something wow that's happening, and it pisses me off. It's like these people put out shit from AI. Oh, here's never before seen footage from down in Antarctica in 1912 or something. They show all these fucking stargates and ancient buildings and shit like that. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck off.
Yeah.
You know, quit
And
muddying up the water, man.
I will say that it was weird that I noticed I had my vehicle kind of did the same thing during it. I had a check engine light. I can tell it's my O2 sensor. The light's off. It's been off for the past 2 days.
I had to get a new battery.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of weird. So,
Yeah,
maybe
I had to listen, I had to get a new battery because and it was wild too because I took it up to the place. I was like, well, goddamn, I just bought that a couple years ago. Well, and I took it back up to the store with me. I says, hey, I think this is still under warranty, man. He goes, nope. He goes, and he showed me I bought that almost like 5.5 years ago. And I was like, what the fuck? That battery's that old? I mean, that just I can't believe. Well, we just passed the 1-year anniversary of the big hang glider attack on Israel by Hamas that set off this entire genocide that Israel's committing right now. Now those idiots, oh my God, they're setting themselves up like the Little Bighorn. They got like a 6-front war going on right now. They just they just went and bombed everybody the fuck around them. Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, everybody, man. They're just going, fuck you.
yeah.
Egypt. I think they just bombed Egypt too.
Oh man, they're doing everything they can, dude. It's ridiculous. And that's another thing that I was saying. It's like, yeah, it was a beautifully played out strategy. They did it and they did it well. You had Trump in office. Hold on. You go back to Obama. You had Obama in office. Russia and stuff invading. You had Trump in office. They call him the peace president. There was no known invasion, stuff like that, wars, they say.
He dropped
And then
48
you have
bombs a day.
exactly. I was going to say.
Trump
I mean, he literally said
Trump dropped
that
48 bombs a day.
he'd literally tell people he'd bomb the shit out of them. So like that's that. But now we got Biden. They say, they're trying to say with the Russia propaganda, they're fucking with elections and shit or whatever. That's all up in the air. It could be true, but I don't think it was for Trump because if you think of a strategic standpoint, Russia gets someone like Biden in office in the U.S. I mean, it's a lot easier to do what you need to do. Think about it that way. But I looked this up on Wikipedia. I don't like using it a lot because you can edit it. But something that caught my eye was it says that, the act of intentionally manipulating or altering weather, the most common form of weather modification is cloud seeding, which increases rainfall, snowfall, usually for the purpose of increasing the local supply. It goes on to tell more about how it prevents damaging weathers, hails, hurricane, all that. But they're also saying, or of provoking damaging weather against an enemy as a tactical military or economic warfare, like Operation Popeye.
Yeah,
But I have an act right here that was put in statute to go against that. There's a whole, like you even said earlier, there's a treaty in place that we won't use this against each other. But this is the information that they're feeding the normal viewer that wants to use Wikipedia.
Mm-hmm.
So it's which one is it?
Google and Wikipedia are like their best friends. Here's something interesting. You want to try something different? This interesting. Open up Google in one tab. Open up Yandex in another tab.
Okay.
Type in flat earth in Google and type in flat earth on Yandex and look at the difference in the results that you get.
Okay. All right, yeah,
Yeah,
here, I'll have to
you'll
try
be
that.
amazed. You'll be amazed, man. Because the first thing you'll get is just the bullshit, you know. Simon Dan, McKeegan, all them fucking idiots, McToon, right?
Yeah.
The Wikipedia about the archaic assumption of the earth and this, that, and the other, you know, the thing that you read at the bottom of the thing when you open it up, it goes, oh, this must be true, or they wouldn't have to fact check it. You know,
Yeah.
there was no such thing as a fact checker until the pandemic.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't grow up with no fact checker, nothing like
Uh-uh.
that. That wasn't a thing. If you wanted the facts, you had to look it up yourself and then take it with a grain of salt.
Yep.
Yeah. But this
Just
is
so people
actually
know, real quick, just so people know, I put the link to this PDF that we've been looking at in the chat. It's also in the description down below in the video. So if anybody wants to go over that, it's a what? How many pages did you say that document is? Like
it's like 150.
150 pages.
Let me see. I got it right here open in the tab. It's 158 pages, but 2 pages are blank, so about 156, 155 around there. And it has a table of contents and everything. If you want to look for something, it'll tell you right where to go, what page and everything.
There you go. So I put
Download it
that
to
in
your
the
phone,
chat.
laptop. Mm-hmm.
And it's also in the description of the video. So yeah. All right, go ahead. Didn't mean
Yeah, no, you're good. You're
mean
good.
to skate your vibe, yo.
No, man, that's that's what I'm here for, man, to conversate about it, because I'm just one person. This is my perspective. That's why I like getting out here and seeing others.
Right.
That way we can figure out what it is together, I guess. Right here, right after what I just said, that it says that you can't use it for, or that you can use it for warfare. Right here, it says this act, the Environmental Modification Convention, which is also Wikipedia too, it bans weather warfare, which is the use of weather modification techniques for the purposes of inducing damage or destruction. So you got one on the same site. One thing's telling you that, and the other thing's telling you other. No wonder
It kind
everyone's
of
so confused and don't believe it.
contradicts itself, doesn't it? Because there's,
Exactly.
if there's no such thing as weather warfare, then why do they have to ban it?
And all I did was click this link right here to get to it. This environmental modification. It's in the definition of what it just said you could do. And you click on that, and it puts you here and says you can't. It's like, okay, so which is it, man? Like,
right.
And then this, because I have a video show, it's like 15 minutes long, but it's only a minute that I wanted to show because it just shows what this is saying. So I highlighted this because this is the hurricane modification. In the section, if you go to the weather system modification, scroll down, you will see where it says hurricane modification. And the first thing it says, using lasers to discharge lightning and storms, which are likely to become hurricanes.
Oh man, and some of those radar apps, people were seeing these beams shooting like
I
from
got a
fucking
video
Florida.
of it right here for you.
Yeah.
All right. So now let me show you this. Because that's what once I seen that, I was like, hold on, I just watched this and seen that this is not.
See, it's a cocktail. It's a cocktail.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Hang on. There we go.
Turn this down. Say, make sure you can see it. All right, cool.
Take a look at this anomaly that's shooting down almost to where we're going to see landfall. It's very interesting. I'm curious to see if this thing actually lands right on top of where we think landfall is going to be. Now, there's something else kind of shooting out here underneath this layer of moisture over the southeast. It looks like it's coming from either northern Florida or a radar tower in southern Georgia, but the main one right here, look at this big beam that shoots down right to about here. That's where we're expecting landfall, give or take. Now, something even more interesting, I want to show you on a more detailed chart. All right, I'll show you once here and then we'll zoom in, but take a look. It's coming from up in this area and it shoots down right to about here where we're expecting landfall. I'll move forward and you'll pretty much see it right away. There it is now. Boom, right here. Okay, so now we're going to zoom in and see exactly where this thing points to, because that is not your normal beam that you see coming from these radar. It's definitely coming from the state of Georgia, probably underneath this mess here. It's coming this way, and there's a cross of that other beam either coming from northern Florida.
What the
So
fuck?
yeah, right there, right at the top of Florida, you're seeing your X right there. And if you look where these beams are coming from, it's pushing it down. It's keeping it down there in Florida to push it through. And yeah, I'll say if y'all want to check out more of that
Coming
video,
down at 2 angles like that to keep it.
yeah, Inspired, you can check out it there, look more into it. But yeah, man, that's I was looking at that and was like, wow, okay, yeah. And I guess the other video I had is we were talking about the cocktail. I believe
Yeah.
frequency is a big thing with it. Where is it?
Mhm.
That is the
Yeah. It's like they're using. These are all like different ingredients that they use. I saw a clip where these people the rain's coming down. It's heavy rain, and there's these things falling in their yard, man, that look like they're having smoke come off of. But I got to looking and I was like, that's not smoke. That's
Yeah.
dry ice. It's dry
Mhm.
ice.
Yep. And
So a
that's where
chunk of it all the way through. They usually crush it finer than that, but a
Yep.
big piece got through. Yeah.
Big old fat piece, exactly. And there was that, and then two other. I can't remember exactly what it is. Some sort of like chemical salt thing they used to throw down too when they were first experimenting with it. But I'm sure a lot of people's heard of the HARP, the high frequency active. Well, yeah, okay. So it's saying that they can't do anything because it only pushes about 10 HZs, but in the same sense, like, I mean, I looked at it. I looked at a couple videos of what it looks like, and there is a pattern once it gets up to 10 that does that swirl for a split second. I was like, oh, okay. So I went and looked at this one and seen if anyone that's been to an ocean or whatever, they'll be able to see that it's the same type of deal with this frequency.
You know, nobody's talking about this, but Acapulco got fucking nailed too by another storm. And it's pretty bad too. Look at this.
Yeah.
Check this out real quick. All those windows blowed out in those fucking hotels, man. All that shit blowed up. Oh my god! Look at that building. Oh my god! All those buildings. Look at that. Do you see all those windows and shit?
Just blown out, man.
Wow.
That's insane. Whole city, man.
Wow.
Looks like a pile of rubble, man. Ooh.
They're not talking much about that in the news.
No,
or
and
anything.
the fires in
Oh,
Wyoming. I had to look
Wyoming,
that up. I had to look that one up and found out all about that. Actually, I got some stuff that can dig into that too. But I'm sure that I think you've showed different sound frequencies with water on here, but this one that does it's up to 20 to.
Oh, hang on, let me get it. 1 second.
Oh, you're good. It's 20 to 220, so they'll start it off.
Oh yeah, cymatic frequencies, absolutely.
Yeah,
it's the fundamental. It's the fundamental thing. Is Tesla said frequency, energy, and vibration, and I think those are the fundamental elements of everything that we call matter and reality.
Exactly. Yes.
Everything is, and we interpret it into this reality as is, as into a little spot in our brain about this big, through taking in all of these electromagnetic impulses and frequencies in through all of our 6 senses, and it translates into this cohesive reality that we can interact with. No different than right between you and I and the people watching the show right now. We are nothing but ones and zeros until a copy of us arrives on their device that interprets all those ones and zeros into a cohesive reality that you can interact with.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh man. So this one, I mean, you really don't need the sound for it. It's just look at the patterns and then think of not only the water, the ocean, think of the clouds above you. Right there. That's
what was I see? Somebody was reporting these really weird
square. I watched it too, man. I wanted to find the video. I can't find it anymore. He was showing all these different devices that they're making, and it's making squares to where, like, you know, they say the ocean meets. But yeah, no, they're saying that that's another pattern that shows with the sand. If you do the sand frequency, you'll see a lot of the square patterns too. But this right there, it's what a lot of your water starts looking like when things are getting rough in the beginning. That's at least from videos that I've seen, and all these little ripples, and then they start forming into different things, and then it's a swirl.
You got to see a cymatic plate, and they used, like, I think cornstarch mixed with water, like a paste. And they started introducing these sounds, and these things turn into three-dimensional
liquid nitrate, right? Or something like that.
No, just cornstarch and water, like just a paste.
Oh, okay.
And it starts coming up into because it's got more substance to it, more than just like a liquid, right?
Yeah.
And so then it starts to form into three-dimensional shapes on the plate. It's pretty cool, man. That's when I realized, I was like, oh fuck, that's what's making up us, is all combination. There again, a cocktail of frequencies.
Of frequencies.
Let me see.
So in every human, we have a certain amount of electricity, we have a certain amount of liquid, and we have the solid to keep it all contained. And that's where, like, frequencies, if you've noticed, people's been in a bad mood the past couple weeks. It's all these frequency stuff is fucking with our bodies. And it's like, the other night at work, like I was telling you, man, I've had one night, I've been alive for 24 years and never seen a bird hit a window. That night it was 10, 15, that different birds just hitting windows, cars coming right at me. Like it threw it off, man. And this was right in between the Helene and the Milton, right in between.
So getting low vibration of some kind.
Exactly.
So this is that video. I found it right after. I have it posted on my page.
That is the video. Yep, there you go.
What in the world is happening off the coast of Anna Maria Island near the coast of Florida? Not only is there sonoluminescence happening, but check this out. There are literally waves in the patterns of squares. This is a person right there, and I've never seen anything like this. It is quite bizarre, and I don't think I agree with what the mainstream is saying, because the mainstream simply says that square waves, also known as cross seas, are caused by the meeting of two sets of ocean waves from different weather systems. Well, maybe I would believe that if there weren't also crazy square patterns in the clouds in that same area, and also the sonoluminescence going on at the same time. But when you take a closer look, you realize that simple sound frequency can change the patterns of water, even to patterns that seem to have 90-degree square angles. And certain frequencies just happen to look exactly like those clouds and waves. And when you see that certain frequencies can cause certain patterns, and certain frequencies look just like those water patterns at Anna Maria Island, and you also see that certain frequencies can generate light. So maybe what's going on at Anna Maria Island isn't what they're telling us. Maybe they're throwing some frequencies out into the atmosphere. Frequencies that are causing water to respond a certain way, frequencies that are causing clouds to respond a certain way, and maybe even frequencies to make people act in different ways, because frequencies can have psychological and emotional effects. So next time you hear about the sonoluminescence or square waves in your area, ask yourself, is what they're telling us really what's going on, or something else? And of course, this is all for entertainment purposes. I know that this is just caused by two wave patterns intersecting. Entertainment only.
Yeah. I'm so
Yeah.
glad you have that still, because I was trying to find it. I couldn't.
Let me see here. Let me see if I can send that to you.
That's what I'm saying. And it's not like it's all you got to do your own research. It's right there. You don't believe it? I promise you. It's something like this 30 minutes of research, and you'll start to wonder.
Let's see. Let's see. SEV. There it is. There you go. And you should be able to use a downloader to download that. So I just sent it through Messenger.
Awesome. Cool deal. Thank you.
You know, I might actually have that whole video downloaded. I do. I'll get it after the show.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Heck yeah.
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 Entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. And they have to say that dumb shit, because, and this is what gets me is people, even if you have to censor out a word, people know what you're saying. If I said F you filled in the blank in your head. You already know what I said, right? This
Mhm.
is what gets me about this bullshit. It's like, okay, look, it already says that no, my show is not for kids. Okay, I click that box every fucking time I start a live. Because sometimes we touch on things that I don't think it's appropriate for kids to listen to or watch. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not running Mr. Rogers. I'm not Mr. Dress Up. I'm not doing any of that dumb shit. We're adults. And I think that we should be free to talk about what we want, within the limits of what we still have in society. You're not supposed to call for acts of violence on somebody or, that kind of shit. You don't say that something's happening that's not happening, that could be an emergency. You try not to do anything like that. But to openly discuss things, that's why we always say, don't just listen to the people that tell you things. Look into it. Say, hey, that's pretty interesting. Is that really true? I trust the person that said it to me, but I really feel I should verify that because I want to know more or whatever else like that. Especially if it's something you find that's, like, what? That can't possibly be. And then you look into it, because it goes against the mainstream narrative. We got Cookie Monster Ryan has joined us down here tonight too. What's happening, buddy? Look,
How's it going?
You're in perfect alignment with the sun and the eclipse. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Somebody pulled over right there.
What do we
We got it going down.
Who's in trouble? Is that the cops are after you? You're muted. You're
Yeah.
muted, Ryan.
I know my mic sucks, but I was just saying I'm in Manteca at a hotel where they have water slides inside the building. It's pretty cool.
Oh wow!
It's called the Lone
Okay.
Lodge or something like that. Anyway, it's in Manteca. Pretty cool. And I'm outside
Where's
smoking
that
a
at?
joint. So. It's in Manteca, right outside of Stockton and all that. Right near
okay.
like near Tracy.
Okay.
In that area.
Looks like a lot of fun, man.
Right off I-5.
You gonna go play on the water slides or?
Oh, you bet. Of course I am.
They run that shit at night too.
They run it till 9 o'clock. I think is when they close down. But
you missed it. Oh no!
But yeah, but you get like 2 full days when you stay here one night, so it's pretty cool. But it's all indoors, so you don't have to worry about getting too cold and stuff. Pretty nice.
Nice.
Anyway,
there it is. But yeah, actually, what I was gonna get into with that next, like we were saying with the Wyoming stuff, like I had to look all this up. I just heard a little bit about it and was like, huh. So I looked into this place called Chariot Corporation. And you got to look up Chariot Corp because I made the mistake. And there's a Chariot organization that does the same thing in the UK. And it's a whole different thing. So you got to look up Chariot Corp. But looking at it, it says that in today calculated, the stuff said it was done at 4 p.m. or GMT. They redid it. Their stock hold is up 41.38% as of today. And you ask who is Chariot Corporation, like I did, if it'll let me do it. Right here.
People that aren't aware, real quick, I'll bring this thing up real quick so that they can. This is what's going on in Wyoming right now. Well, this is from last night anyway. It went up to 78,000 acres. The biggest fire they've ever had in their 100-year history was 18,000 acres. And now we got this. And this is pretty intense, man. Look at those poor things.
Oh, yeah.
That's a beautiful animal. Look at that.
Oh,
Jesus. Yeah, that's pretty rough.
Man.
It's pretty rough.
We'll get some of the bitches that are doing that and get back at them.
Well, have you noticed this is the second that I know of, the second to third national park to just catch on fire this year?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I'm kind of just now coming to that realization. Yeah, but yeah, Chariot. That's the Chariot Corporation. I was like, okay, well, who are these people? And one of the first things here, it says Chariot Corporation Limited is a mineral exploration company focused on discovering and developing high-grade and near-surface lithium opportunities in the United States. This is their headquarters. 93.9% owned. Okay, you with me on that? If you look at where the fires are, it is 49 miles, something like that, 49.3 miles away from the headquarters at Black Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking to see that percentage number to increase over the next few weeks, because now we got that in Wyoming, as well as if you look in North Carolina. What is one of their good minerals there? It's lithium. As well as if you look at Georgia, I also was looking into. Georgia has minerals. They are the leading producer of clay in the United States. I don't know. I can put this up for you if you want. But they're the leading clay producers in the United States. Window share. And is also a major producer of kaolin. I don't even know what the hell that is, but iron oxide pigments. Let me scroll in. Bright dimension.
Kaolin?
Yeah,
Iron
yeah.
oxide pigments.
Barrett. I don't even understand what some of these minerals are. Dimension stone. And what caught my mind was feldspar. Now, what is feldspar? That was my question, because I mean, I'm sorry, I grew up in this county. Feldspar is a group of minerals that make up about 60% of the Earth's crust and is an essential opponent of igneous metamorphic. God, that's a tongue
Igneous,
twister.
metamorphic, and
Sedimentary rock. But if you look here, it varies among. There's various amounts of potassium, sodium, calcium, and or lithium. So we got Georgia, North Carolina, and Wyoming. Lithium is one of the top 5 materials that we need for all these new electric cars that we have, all the batteries, all of it. It's the top seller, man. Obviously, we're the top seller for coal, but yeah, then that's where it's like, yeah. And I was looking into it to where the government like seizing, like how can they seize your property, things like that. They're required when a natural disaster like this happens to give you a compensation check. So
well, and the thing is that they can take any area that's deemed by FEMA to be natural disaster, or that automatically falls under eminent domain.
yeah,
Thing
there
about
it
that,
is.
so they have to compensate the landowner, but they pay what the land was worth 5 years ago.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and
And
they're
we've
getting
seen
it.
what's happened to land prices in the last 5 years, right?
Yeah.
So this guy kind of sums it up. What's happening, sad feet? Why do we have sad feet up on the screen? What was up? Let me see your feet again. Let's see that. That's sexy feet. Look at that sexy feet. Oh, all our foot fetish people out there are going to be having a time with that.
That's gross, man.
If you haven't heard, Wyoming's on fire. And what's interesting is the majority of it is on the eastern side of Wyoming. Now, just for reference, the yellow part of this map is federally owned land, and the white part is privately owned. These major fires are all in the privately owned sectors. Now, what does this mean? So a recent discovery claims that there is approximately 2.34 billion metric tons of rare earth minerals near Wheatland, Wyoming, which is on fire. Now, with this supply of rare earth minerals, we would be the leading holder in the entire world. Now, where is Wheatland? Right there in the southeast corner of Wyoming, where the worst of the fires are. Now, this won't be an overnight transition. Many proposals still face months, if not years, before work is final. But the citizens of Wyoming are poised to fight long and hard against these mines. Now, what started these wildfires? So a wet or an area with an abundance of fuels just so happened to get hit by lightning and ignited the fuel. And the state's notoriously strong winds are driving the flames, making it even worse. Sounds kind of like the perfect storm. So I don't know, people, you could put 2 and 2 together here. We have a location that could be the leading source of rare earth minerals in a certain part of Wyoming that a lot of people are against mining, and now they're being told to evacuate. I can't say much more, but look into this. I think it will shock you.
I don't know. What do you think, man?
It's usually something like that.
Yeah, right on point. I mean, if any, and like I was like, and this is where I was saying I was putting it all together. National parks are on fire. This one here, my great grandfather built half of it. They went through and gave people a choice: take the money and leave, or leave and get no money, pretty much.
Right.
And they kicked everybody off that mountain, man. And
Yes,
now
they
they
did.
use it for tourism, different little experimentation. Because I used to clean for them. I'm not going to save it so much, but I would see some dead animals in a freezer.
It's a government approved fun zone.
Yeah. And then they're just charging people to go and look at the same thing you can look at the bottom. Like it's no different. And they're coming through and just kicking people out. It's already federal land. They're going to just come in and just say, all right, I'm taking the reins.
Vast resources too. Vast resources. Iron, coal, the timber. Are you shitting me?
Yeah, the timber was a big one there. Yeah.
So what's up, sad feet? Did you have something to add to the mix? Other than your feet being sad? Sad feet make me a sad panda. No, we don't want to see your feet again. We don't want to see your feet.
It was like
There
the
we go.
Roman
No, we don't want to
toe.
see your feet. We want to not see your feet anymore.
Those are gross feet.
No, we don't want to see.
They look like feet.
You gotta have one every show at least.
I'll
But
tell you.
thanks anyway. Here, I got something for you. Here, have a finger.
No, you're not coming back up, bro. No.
I wouldn't trust him. Next thing you know, he'll be showing his butt or something else.
Yeah, I'm worried about what he's going to show next. Yeah, I'm not bringing him back. No, that could be bad. This is another one. Let's see what this.
Thanks anyway.
Oh no, they're gonna play. God dang! Oh, why can't these people just post a fucking video knowing what the hell's going on without the goddamn music in it? They always gotta have this fucking. This TikTok is the worst for that dumb shit, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Well,
I
they
don't
make
know.
it on TikTok. When I was making advertisements for the other one, they make it to where it's almost for sure that you have to put some sort of sound, whether it be your voice or music, whatever it is. It's insane. I got
Somebody
rid of that
needs to
app.
take that shit out. Somebody that can do that kind of work needs to isolate that fucking music and find. I bet you there's sublims in that fucking shit. I bet you there's subliminal messages in that goddamn music. And that's probably why it drives me up a wall. I know they got sublims in music to commercials and shit. And I tell you what, man, a commercial comes on YouTube. Incidentally, all product people, all your advertisements that interrupt my video do is make me hate your fucking product. Okay. That's the response that it gives me. But I cannot stand it's like the music playing in these commercials and shit and in these TikTok videos. I'm like, oh my God. Even if it's a song that I like, I'm like, stop with that. Stop trying to drive my emotions with music and sound, man. You know? I mean, now it's here you got Sarah McLachlan. Every time somebody hears that song of hers, everybody thinks about little sad, lonely puppies and shit, abused dogs. It's like, fuck. Stop. I don't know, man.
Puppies and kittens.
I can't deal with it.
Puppies and kittens.
Yeah, abusing cats and dogs, and they're eating them. They're eating them. The immigrants, they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
Oh yeah.
Donald Trump in that debate, that was funny as shit. They're eating the dogs, he says. I'm like, oh, fuck. This guy. He is, you got to say, he's a good show.
Make sure you're not a dog, you'll be fine.
See, man, and that's what I was hoping would pop up. I went to close that tab of that corporation, and it said right there in the slide, U.S. Lithium Pioneer. Pioneer. What do pioneers do? They
Find
fucking
new ways
find a
of doing
new land. Like, oh my God.
Well, it's not just that, like you were saying, and that feldspar has certain amounts of lithium in it.
Exactly.
And if it's been, it's been prospected, it's been prospected. And so if they're pioneering that shit, then they're working on efficient ways of extracting probably the lithium from that feldspar. They're always up to some devious shit. They always have. You can go back. Government always on the side of these corporations and shit. It spurred kind of American legends like Billy the Kid and that crew, with the James Younger gang and Jesse James and that. What were they really doing? They were going up against the fucking railroad. They were coming through doing that same thing to take the land by eminent domain, burning people's farm out and shit, and then take it from pennies on the dollar. They were already offering a shit amount to begin with. And they send in these ruffians and toughies and shit to try to run these people out of their land and shit. And Jesse James and those guys got together and they was like, fuck that. They just got done. They was with Quantel's Raiders to begin with. They were already part of a guerrilla partisan group during the Civil War, a lot like Mosby's Raiders. They were attacking Union supply lines and that the infrastructure.
Yeah. Well, and that's what we were saying, like trying to get that the resources. That's why I got a screenshot of this public law. It's an act 94 to 490 dated back to 1976. And it goes through all the stuff that it can and can't do. And number 5 and 6, like I said, you can just look it up right there. First thing it pops up. And I normally don't do that. I normally have to skip through the first 5 before I start clicking. But Number 5 down here at the bottom of the first page, it says to assess the economic, social, environmental, and legal impact of an operation weather modifications program, as well as to develop both national and international mechanisms designed to minimize conflict which may arise with respect to the peaceful uses of weather modification. So what this is all the stuff this is the acts, the law of when they made this, they did a law, a little act thing, it's public law, and statute 2359, yeah, dated back in the 1976, and they're saying right there, like, they will, before they use it, what time is it? It's almost the time to pick who's going to run it. Then on top of it, they looked at it. They looked at the economic. They look at everything, all the resources, the money flow, all of it that it could produce.
So these areas too, think about this, all these areas, these displaced people, and how are they going to, there's going to be some issues with voting. I mean, that's less than a month away. It's November the 5th. That's election
Knock
day,
the
right?
power grid out because we're all on technology now. You can't vote.
Yeah.
Well, at least
I don't know.
some of these states
Elon
that are
been
not
saving the
swinging.
day. Elon been saving the day.
I've been seeing that. He had his little jumping excitement fest being Dark MAGA on stage.
Starlink is airplanes. Starlink is aircraft. Okay. Remember when he said he was cutting off Starlink to the Ukraine, right?
Okay.
That's because it was a no-fly zone. He couldn't put Starlink in Ukraine. It was a no-fly zone. He didn't do it out of some patriotic justice or anything else like that, solidarity with somebody or anything else. He did it because it was a no-fly zone.
No,
fucking Starlink is airplanes.
Yeah, that's a good. I have to look into that.
Yeah, I just see a thing on here right now. Numerous law enforcement agencies had issued, and this was a few hours ago, down in Knoxville, Tennessee. They issued a large evacuation zone as they investigate a suspected explosive device. It says at this time, law enforcement emergency officials in Knoxville, Tennessee have declared a large evacuation zone. Let me show you this real quick. Looks pretty big. Requesting that residents evacuate as they investigated a suspected explosive device. Authorities have activated the integrated public alert and warning system, sending safety messages. So I wonder what they found out. They were investigating this at 5:30 this afternoon. That was like 6 hours ago.
Okay.
I wonder if they found out anything about it. Let's see.
Wow.
I'll have to go to their, man, that's a big area. That's a big
huge,
area.
yeah.
I mean, how big of a fucking explosive device was it? That's what I want to know. I want to find out if there's
30,000 square foot perimeter. Good Lord.
All right. Well, there's got to be something new on their page on it. Let's see. 50. This is literally outside my windy farm, and it's outside of Philadelphia, and I'm just witnessing amazing red and green pillars. Every time people are saying they're seeing this shit, I go look outside. I don't ever see it.
I don't see it. Exactly, yeah. I think it has to do with the mountains.
Look at that shit.
That's beautiful.
Well, I guess no, there's no more updates on that, I guess. So maybe it blew up and destroyed everything. Who knows?
Let's say 5 hours and no updates, but they're doing little things like that. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I know. Oh boy, look at here's the sky. Well, who gives a fuck, man? Maybe I need to do a refresh. That's what needs to go on there. Maybe get something more current.
Oh,
Is anybody else having trouble uploading to YouTube today? High Impact Flicks is asking on Twitter. I don't know. Any of y'all out there had any problems? FE Nation, have you had any problem? Tried to upload anything today? What's that you put in there? What's that you put in there, Mr. FE Nation? Putting links all up in my chat and shit. What's this crap? Oh, Northern Lights. Did you just get this? I never get to see the shit. Let's see. He put this out 35 minutes ago. I never see any of this shit. Oops. Guess what? I got the wrong fucking thing up. I'm in the wrong spot, man. There we go. So this is by FE Nation. He just put this in here. I go outside. I don't know. Hey, honey, did you see any Northern Lights out there? She must have not hear me. Oh, there's sound. Don't have no sound. Okay, that's why. So you just shot this out there today. Kick ass. Oh, look at there. 10-10 at 22-22. Yeah. So that's crazy looking, man.
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I guess they're saying that there was some kind of geo storm or a electromagnetic storm came from the sun again or something. I don't know. I went out there and I was playing with the dogs this afternoon, and then just for shits and giggles, I was like, hey, that's right. The sun's back out. I'm going to look at it. So I stood there and stared at it for a good 5 minutes and felt really good finally to be able to see some sun, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. After it's been raining like that, dude, I'm tired of it. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I get tired of that shit. Hey, honey, did you see any Northern Lights out there? No? All right. I'm just checking. She didn't see any. What's that? Well, no, FE Nation just showed us a video he posted like 35 minutes ago. Oh, people here in Luray? Yeah, maybe. Well, there's a lot of people full of shit here in Luray. I gotta say that. That's for real.
Yeah.
So FE Nation, you didn't have no trouble uploading it? Okay, so I guess not, Brian. I don't know. I can't take it on one. But you can tell that they lied to us about the size of this storm. Now this is from a live feed from space. And this is amazing because they just showed it was just this storm, in the Gulf of Mexico, which is just a fraction of the size of the United States. But when you compare it to the curvature of the earth, okay, you can obviously see that they're lying to us 100%. Look at this. Look how huge that is.
Yeah, I've seen this one. That's what that was another thing that peaked it. I mean, it looks like mountains, dude. Like,
look how. I mean,
it
that's
doesn't look
huge.
real. It looks like land.
It has to be covering the entire land.
Yeah.
It has to be covering the entire land. I mean, look, there's the curvature of the earth, right? Because the earth is obviously a globe. This is live from space, right?
Here's another question I got. Where's the satellites?
Well, they're, you can't see them. They're zipping by too fast and shit.
Yeah.
But look at that. I mean, where's the United States even at?
Yeah.
I mean, wow. So they've been lying
guessing-
to us. They've been lying to us, dude. Fucking with us hard. There's people that believe that's actual real. Look, you can see the curvature of the earth. I feel bad for those people.
Man,
I really
there
do.
was no land, no nothing. Absolutely nothing. And it wasn't no. Sorry, if that's what you believe, then nah, it's over for you.
You guys want to see something that's pretty good? This is pretty good. That was put out by Truth Stream Media today. It said if this was 1774 instead of 2024, this video would be in a pamphlet handwritten under a pseudonym, handed out in the American colonies in secret. Today we have social media and free speech is being threatened. It's pretty obvious why. So let's hear what this little gal's got to say about some shit. This is pretty good.
Yeah, so the tragedy in North Carolina is just highlighting the fact that the government is nothing but violent middlemen, just geriatric criminals who basically do nothing but step in between the interactions of average Americans to justify their existence. People always say, we need the government, they protect us, yet you can't sell lemonade without a permit, you can't braid hair or feed the homeless without a license, and you can't help people stuck in a disaster zone without food, water, or medical care without the threat of arrest. We have Americans with resources, helicopters, boats, supplies, and the gumption to get it done, who are being threatened with arrest if they continue to try to help or rescue people. Why? Well, because the government needs to justify its existence in order to keep existing. It's not about helping people. It's about letting everyone know we're the ones that keep you safe from the world. They can't have average citizens helping each other, because if they did, then the average citizens might look around and go, hey, we actually got this done in way less time, way less money, and way more efficiently than we've ever seen the government do anything. So why are we paying you again? Why are we listening to you again? Why are we allowing you to lord over us again? Why are we allowing you to threaten us with violence again? Why are we allowing you to send all of our resources to places like Ukraine and Israel again, all while our fellow Americans suffer? Yeah, the government can't have that. They thrive on the power that they siphon from our daily interactions and disasters like North Carolina, all while telling us it's for our own good. They need us to need them, and they'll do whatever it takes to maintain that dependency, even if it's the threat of violence or throwing you in a cage, even if it's allowing Americans to waste away in a disaster zone just for the sake of saving face. The next time you hear a politician talking about the greater good and working for you and public service, just remember the fact that the only reason why they exist is because you have to depend on them. And the only reason why you have to depend on them is because they made that happen via violence. And the kicker, some people just can't stop begging for more. We hand over our freedom, our income, our lives, all because we've been sold a lie that we can't manage without them. When they're making helping people unlawful, you should really start thinking about all the laws.
Well said. I'm glad she emphasized on saying again every
Yeah,
time,
so the tragedy
because
in-
all this has happened numerous of times in history. I can't hear you, buddy. You're muted or something.
It's always like this cycle, right? That,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're saying, you know, and it's a little group of assholes comes along and says, listen, we're going to run things. We're going to be really nice. Okay. We're not going to be dickheads and shit. We're just going to run everything. And then immediately it starts attracting dickheads, right? And it becomes corrupt to a point where the people say, you know what? Enough of your bullshit. Okay. And they get mad and they get out their torches and their pitchforks and they run out there and they have what they call a revolution, which of course means to go around and around and around and around. Okay.
Yeah.
So what do? They say, we're tired of these little assholes taking all our shit and telling us what to do. Fuck you. And they get rid of them. And the next thing they do immediately is go about selecting a little group of assholes to tell them what the fuck to do. That says, oh, we're not going to be like those dickheads. We're going to be cool. Oh, all right then. And then we go along with it. And then they do it again. And so what we need to do is you got to stop. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Okay. Government, like, it doesn't work. Because as soon as some people figure out a way that they can live off of you, that's what they're going to do. That great fiction by which the few seek to live by the means of the many.
Well, and see, that's where it's like I've had debates like this, where it's sad to say not everyone in this world is fit to lead. We have to have some sheeps and we have to have some leaders. So it's why it's people like you and like what I'm trying to do.
If you feel like you need to be led by someone, then by all means, go be led by someone. But don't make it so that I don't need to be led by anybody, okay? You go over there and be led by that person. I'm not in that, okay? I'm not, because where I see these leaders don't even know where the fuck they're going.
Yeah, well, and that's my whole point is that they're following the wrong people. If you have people like you, like Dave Wise, all these different people that, like, fuck it, I'm going to tell you the truth no matter how it makes you feel, because it is what it is. and calling the bullshit out. You need people like that to lead these people into the direction that, you know, could be the right way. We all know we're all in a melting pot figuring it out, but what we believe to be the right way, you know, why not lead those people to there if they can be?
Well, I mean, I'm confident that I could live the rest of my life and never perpetrate a wrong. In other words, cause loss, injury, or harm intentionally, of course, against another person without I can do that without the threat of a gun or violence. I don't need the threat of violence, okay? Because my internal dialogue goes like this. Oh, no, that's wrong. And it's against the law. Okay, that's the way it's against the law and it's wrong. No, not in that order at all. No, first and foremost, it's wrong. And it also happens to be against the law. Because not all things that are, you see, that's the way I approach it. And so I could live my existence, and I'm sure that many of you out there can as well, without the threat of violence being perpetrated against you. Right? You don't need that threat against you because you already know it's wrong. But immediately, because of the programming, the first thing that people go to is their first, but what about everybody else? Well, wait a minute. I've asked a bunch of people, can you live the rest of your life without intentionally perpetrating a wrong? In other words, causing loss, injury, or harm against another. Can you live that way without somebody threatening you with violence? And everybody I've asked, with the exception of like one person, but he was a psychopath, every one of them has said, yeah, I could do that. Sure. So those I've already asked everybody else. They're cool with it too. So your fear is allayed. Now, are you going to have those few psychopaths that are going to go against that? Absolutely. So, I'm not saying I say live by a non-aggression principle, but however, get violent if you need to.
Yeah, I mean, if people just minding their own business, stick to themselves, worry about their situation more than everyone else, would be in a better spot, man.
Where's your fucking hat, cheater?
Oh, fuck. I said it. God damn it. I don't know who the hell it is. I have a good point, though. I mentioned it in the chat, but I was like, next time you're on with Jaren or anyone else, they showed all these pictures from space of Earth. How come we can never see contrails or chemtrails that correlate with where they are in the world?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting,
That's
isn't
a
it?
good point too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's fucking fake. That's why.
Now I'm looking for my hat. God damn it.
You've got the NPCs out there that are going to square up and down, even though you point out the physical impossibilities of some of the shit that they believe is true.
Mm-hmm.
They'll still fight and claw and get angry when you're like, look, man, stop screaming about science when you don't want to use science. Okay, I'm trying to use the scientific method to show you that what you believe is physically impossible, and you want to fight with me about it.
Yep.
In lieu of some fantasy that you've been fed, and it's all based on the perception of where they got the information. No logic kicked in, not one bit of logic kicked in. It was all, well, they said so. This agency, and they're funding all this, and government this and government that, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, they're fucking with you, Holmes. That's their job. Governo mentis, control of the mind. What's wrong with you, man? Wow.
Oh yeah.
Well,
They'll ask you one question, and then right after hit you with three more. And then, like, I had a debate with another person at work about it the other night. And I told him straight up, because he tried doing it to me. I'm like, hold on, let's break this down step by step here, because they don't like that. They can't have it. They want to hit you with so much to fill your head up with so much pressure, and then you're like, I don't even know anymore. And they'll just keep doing it.
Well,
You just
Greg,
gotta shut that
sent
shit
him on a
down.
goose chase. I sent him on a fucking scavenger hunt for his hat, but
Yeah,
he had a point he was trying to make. Oh, I was just fucking with you, bro.
Oh, I'm fucking
So
with you too. I
he
can't
had a
find it.
point he was trying to make that he had made in the chat, and apparently it had slipped by me. I need to pay more attention over to the chat.
God damn it, Dave. Read the chat.
I get caught up in my experiments here.
I love your show because you have the chat, or you have the show going on, and then you have a chat show going on.
Oh, I know.
So I love it. Anyway, that's all I got, guys. Bye.
What was the point?
The fucking chemtrails in the sky.
Oh, the chemtrails. I'm sorry. Wow.
Yeah.
You already forgot.
Yeah, right. Yes, great point. My bad.
It's a
Yeah.
mystery pot.
Yeah, it just like kind of goes, What
All
was
right,
it? The old lady looked at me the other day and said, just shut the fuck up. And because she said, I heard somebody say, "Oh, that's like the pot calling the kettle black," and I says, "That's like the black calling the pot a kettle."
Yeah.
What? Shut up.
Butchered that.
All right, see you guys.
All right, Greg.
Take it
Thanks for
easy, man.
coming up, bro. Yeah, no doubt, right? So what is this thing? The odds of finding a perfect match in the U.S. Oh, who cares? Yeah, this is the whole thing. I'll tell you another thing. It's a ruination that's going on. Is you got these people. I've noticed that nobody dates. Young people don't date.
The
They don't
percentage
date.
is way down for that, man. No one's having like it's funny you bring that up. China is crawling up what I've seen in the percentage. They're getting close to us on population.
Well, it's
They're not having kids
this
around here
though.
anymore.
Here's the problem that's being created. Okay, used to be that people were social. They didn't just go out and hook up. Okay, that wasn't the fucking thing, And although being a young man or a young woman, you probably wanted to, but you didn't want to have to fuck with the consequences of it. It meant something, blah, 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 right? Now we're in this like hookup society. And what we end up with is these people say, "Yeah, it's a fine booty," and they go and it's just this casual fucking sex all over the place.
Yeah.
Consequently, people are getting pregnant. And there's these broken homes of people, no dad in the picture,
Mm-hmm.
or there's not the traditional family, which of course offers even more of a foot in the door for government to impose their bullshit into your private life by whatever means, by when they start offering up the assistance, right? Then the next thing you know, you have to, in order to keep getting that assistance, you have to comply with certain things that they want you to do, and blah, 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 blah. It comes with conditions. And I think that we've come into a dangerous area, and dare I say, because we've actually destroyed the family. We've taken God out of the family, and I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about God. We've taken morality out. Okay. And what's it say? Even in the Bible, it says, woe be to those who call evil good and good evil. And we're seeing that. We're seeing that on a massive scale. And the level of gaslighting that's going on, like that video you and I watched by Robot Polisher earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much fucking gaslighting.
24/7.
Yes.
It's the people that are these, they call them sheep. They're trusting the media to give them the information, and it's all just, if you look, there's plenty of videos of different news stations saying the same thing, like what we were watching earlier. It's the same news station. You can literally play different episodes, clips of the news from different days, and it makes a full statement because they're so constant. They're consistent with it, and that's what puts it in their heads. And that was another thing she was tapping on. As long as they're consistent, it can be the dumbest shit you ever heard. As long as it's consistent, they'll believe it.
I'm wanting to say it was Joseph Goebbels, propaganda minister for the Third Reich, that said, if you repeat a lie often enough and loud enough, it becomes truth.
Yep. Yes, sir.
And we see that even up to and including with the globe, that whole thing. It's just been repeated, and despite the overwhelming proof that that is a scientific impossibility, something has been able to convince the majority of the population that of the opposite of where they live. Now that's fucking amazing. And no way does that come from the mind of a mortal man. No way could that plan be devised by a mortal man.
With
Powers
all
of
the stuff you
principalities,
have
man.
to deal with on a daily basis on a survival standpoint, not in today's society, they've made it so lazy that we have time to look now. But back in the day, man, there was so much a man had to do in a day. They didn't have time to worry about if what they're standing on is round, flat, triangle, square. They didn't give a fuck. They knew they had to make the money or they had to go hunting, fishing, all the stuff. They know that's what's important. They know what they can see, and that's why I'm a big thing. It's all about protecting.
They would never have any reason to question it.
Exactly. There wouldn't. Why? And it's because these that like they embedded in you back in school when it was older times. You had the maps that you could pull down, right? People started asking questions. Put the globes in every classroom. Put the globes in the office. Put them in different like campuses.
Library.
All of it, everything. Yep, libraries. All of it. And then they don't have to say anything. Just put that there and let it sit in the corner.
Yeah.
And that's all you got to do.
And you get it referenced to you continuously throughout the day, all the time. You know, whether it's at the beginning of a movie or on your local cable company's car goes by with their logo, or something sent to you in the mail from some company that has a,
Little globe in the top,
Expedia, the travel company, right? I was playing this solitaire game on my phone and it's got ads, you know, and this one come up for Expedia, and it was the stupidest line I've ever heard. It's sort of like, you know, like people have to, you know, have a sales pitch line.
Yeah.
There's a Expedia, because like empires, prices rise and fall. You know, it's like, no shit, Sherlock. Well, sometimes it costs high, sometimes it costs low. You never fucking know, right? It's a toss of the dice. And I'm like, that's your slogan? Like empires, prices rise and fall. I was like, what the fuck? That's the dumbest shit thing I ever heard. Somebody got to fire it, son of a bitch. Johnson, are you responsible for this sales campaign? Oh, yes, sir. Oh, you're fucked.
You going.
Oh, man, here's a thing. What's it say? FEMA is lying. People on the ground are documenting and disclosing the lies. Communist censorship tactics won't stop the truth from getting out. Oh, okay.
If you look on their website, FEMA, I was looking at it today. They got a whole section that says like hurricane rumors or FEMA rumors, and it lists everything that everybody's been saying, dude. It's crazy.
Oh my God. What do they say about the helicopters coming in and jet washing?
They said that they are not intentionally destroying, or I don't know word for word, but they're saying the helicopters is not intentional. That's a rumor. They're saying people not getting their checks is a rumor. It's crazy.
Well, let's see what these are people on the ground. Let's see what this is.
Yeah.
So guys, Kim has been volunteering up here all week in different spots, Bakersville, Burnsville, Spruce Pine, you name it. She's been here. We didn't want to put any of this on YouTube, but I've been traveling this week and the rest of the world doesn't know about what's going on in North Carolina. Can you tell a little bit about what's going on since you've been here?
So my name's Suzanne. We actually live a half a mile from here. We live there. That's our business. It got completely washed away by the flood. We evacuated to this school, which is where we've been living for the last 9 days. And we've been just volunteering with our fire department because this is kind of like our home turf, and this has turned into a supply center. Everyone keeps saying that FEMA's here, the National Guard is here. No one has been here. All these roads through here are cleared because local people cleared them. Local people that had tractors, excavators, anything, and then they called in their friends that had resources throughout the state. all the Swift water teams, none of that's been government. It's been other states sending their teams down, like New Hampshire and Delaware.
Florida.
It's all volunteers. It's all either little fire departments or, little first responder services like that. It's no government help. One day we had 6 National Guards come here for 4 hours. That was it. And they helped sort in here. That was all. It's all locals, local resources. It's all civilians.
And it's unreal.
Oh yeah, and it's the truth. Keep in mind, where's Biden right now? Where's Kamala? Dude, reports they're hanging out on their beach house, doing little things like that. Man, it's sad, but they'll send 4 to 6 National Guards for 4 hours to help sort things, and that's it. And then send a Black Hawk to come and ruin it all. Got it. Awesome.
Well, shit,
Good job.
Tennessee National Guard's over in Middle East.
So, guys,
yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh yeah, it's stupid. And it's stuff you see all this stuff coming from TikTok. Why do you think they wanted to ban it what was it, 2 years ago, a year ago, something like that? Get a lot of information real quick. How they're trying to ban TikTok and all that stuff like a year or 2 ago, because all this information that we're getting of people just showing the raw stuff is from a 60-second clip that you can just whip out and record real quick.
Right.
It's
well,
insane.
here's the bad side of it though too. You're getting a lot of bullshit produced.
Yeah.
Too, and I don't understand what the motivation behind somebody doing something like that, trying to freak people out or whatever else, it's dirty. I think it's smarmy.
Fear tactics.
It's
insane.
I do, and it muddies the water for actual truth. It really does. And I think that's its intent. I really do. Oh yeah, this is something a lot of people might get into here. Speaking of water and floods, this is interesting. The law of water.
Water is money. That's why they call it currency. That's what the cash flow is all about. That's why you liquidate your assets. What's a bank? What's a riverbank? What's a riverbank do? A riverbank directs the flow of the currency, just like the bank you go to. This is called maritime admiralty law, and until you understand this, you're not really going to fully grasp what is actually going on in this world. You are a traded commodity on the New York Stock Exchange. The QSIP number on your birth certificate is a searchable number. You are worth money to the international bank that bought you in the 1930s. In essence, it's not really a stock, but a trust. We are maritime admiralty products, and we are bought and sold on the high seas. After all, we're made up of over 2/3 water. This world operates under maritime admiralty law. There is law of the land and there's a law of the water. They turned us into products under the maritime admiralty law of the water jurisdiction. That's why if you go to jail, they need to bail you out of jail. Think about this. All ships are considered female by law for some reason. She delivers the product in the everyday world to this day. And every time that she does so, she pulls into a harbor where they call it her berth. Every time an item comes off that ship, it is counted and they give it a certificate of manifest. This is why when your mother's water breaks, they give you a certificate of birth. And guess what? It's signed by the doctor because that's where the ship sits, on the dock. This is maritime admiralty law. Look into it, yo.
There's a lot there, like you were saying in that little short thing. Now, legit, that's an instance of what you were talking about right there. That's straight up fire. You're muted.
My bad. I had it muted. My bad. Yeah, man, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
water is money.
You're like 70% whatever liquid. Like, yes, of course you're gonna have vibration, and it's a lot of little things. Think of it as like everything that makes sound, moves, is a machine, things like that, gives off a frequency. If you have TVs, fans, microwaves, refrigerators, you have all that on all the time, you are getting frequency. It's the same as if you go outside and you have all these harps and stuff. I'm sorry they say it don't, but it does. You have all this frequency messing with you, and it's not even just you. Like I said, you can look at the animals and see it's fucking them too. Like they don't know what to do. They're like, what's going on?
Like you were saying, those birds were flying into the windows and shit up there at the park
all night.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's who wants to kamikaze. There was taking revenge for Nagasaki or something. They're little Japanese birds.
Yeah. I don't know,
What?
man. I don't get it. That's why it's like at this point, it's just Milton just came through. All we can do is wait and see what happens now. We've all theorized and talked about it. Now it's out all on the table. We just got to see what happens.
Here's the thing on here right now. It says that allegedly Simon Cowell has been running a similar Diddy type blackmail operation. There's a picture of old Simon Cowell with looks like a little Asian girl he's holding.
Oh.
Listen,
and
man.
that's Cat Williams, as much as he's out there, like he called all this out. He did in an interview, then everyone was like, oh no, he's just crazy, he's drunk, all that. No, he called this stuff out. And if you listen to lyrics like Eminem, J. Cole, they've all warned us about Diddy in these lyrics. If you go back to their older stuff, that a lot of people know a lot that they shouldn't. You see the interviews with him and Justin Bieber. It's just disgusting.
I know, and I thought that was kind of sus to begin with. I was like, what's these grown men wanting to be hanging around that young boy? I mean, I understand he's a singer and shit like that. And that's all well and good. But that's fucking
It's not a
weird.
good look. It's
No,
not a
and
good look.
and what the fuck's up with his mom? This kid, Bieber's mom.
Bieber's mom. Yeah.
I mean, where is his parents at? They sold him. Basically, they pimped him, man.
Yeah.
They had to know.
We've already done this dance 2 different times now that I'm aware of with Michael Jackson. Now we've had Epstein.
Yeah, but what we're finding out now is that
Diddy.
we're finding out that Michael Jackson was completely fucking innocent.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and that's been shaking people up too.
Listen, this is one of the biggest tactics, one of the biggest communist tactics to use is to accuse your enemy of doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. And as I understand it, I guess Michael Jackson was really down on that kind of shit going on there. And one of the people that was really hot on trying to put MJ in prison was Kamala Harris. That's right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Well,
It's
because
big
man, he
shit.
was getting really big, man. He's like he fucking bought out the Beatles. Like
Yeah.
he got his toes in everywhere, and then all of a sudden just gone. I don't know, man. And that's where it's like we were kind of talking about it a little bit before, the theory of like the way the hurricane's path, it's hitting Real Housewives' place, it's hitting Diddy's house, which filled the tunnels, which now I bet you anything they're going to say all the evidence is going to be flooded, and Oprah. Nobody's talking about Oprah.
Oh, yeah, there's people talking about Oprah.
Well, it's all about Diddy right now. Everyone's talking about. That's the big thing. But yeah.
I've been seeing some shit about her connections to Oprah. I don't know. I like the guy. I started watching him years ago, and after they canceled my channel that I had before, I lost all my subscriptions and shit. Right, so I had to start afresh, and I'd actually forgotten about this guy because I was actually busy trying to get my channel going up back again and everything. And but have you ever heard of Lionel Nation?
No, I've not.
He's really, I like the way he talks. He uses words that are your vocabulary will be expanded by listening to him, because he uses these words that are not regular some of the time, and he does that on purpose so people can expand their vocabulary. But anyway, he was talking about all this shit, and you ought to listen to him talking about this. He's got some shit up there about Oprah's connection, and her having that girls' school, and all them girls ended up missing.
Yeah.
Hooked up with that John of God guy who was also convicted of doing some of this shit too. I mean, listen, man, if that many of your friends are kitty diddlers, baby, their chances of year one is real fucking high.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm just saying, there's another case right there of when there's smoke, there's fire. You know, usually.
And it's always these big name ones. Like another one that right now a lot of people, I've only heard a few talk about it, is Wendy from the Wendy show. She's got dementia now, right after calling out Beyonce, supposedly, allegedly, that her baby bump was fake. And now, like Jay-Z said something, and now she's stuck on the couch like a vegetable. Like it's all little things here and there. It's like, yeah, dude, these people they're entertainers. No more, no less. They're entertainers. And I have a whole thing I want to break down on the channel once I get it up and going about the stars, how the Hollywood star walk, all the stuff on the concrete. Like, why do
Yes.
astronauts have stars there?
The
You
whole
know what I
Apollo
mean?
11
Like,
and okay, so those stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame they have a little symbol on them as well, and they're different. Some will be for music, some are for theater, some are for television, and some are for movies. And the Apollo 11 crew, theirs is for television.
Yep. And why do you think they call them Hollywood stars, rock stars, movie stars? It's because, dude, it's very literal in what it's called. Hey, I want to dig deeper into the video that I
Fallen
looked at to
angels
break
were
it down.
stars.
Exactly. That's what I
Fell
was
as
going to
stars.
get to. Yep.
Okay, so now look at the Paramount. Look at the Paramount logo when it
Yeah, the
comes out.
logo. Yeah.
Okay.
Big old
Yeah,
mountain.
these stars come down from the sky and they swoop over across the face of the water, and then they all converge up on that mountain, just like Mount Hermon, that lays at 33 degrees parallel, 33 degrees longitude, is restricted, and that's where the watchers swore their oath to take do as they wanted and take wives of the human men and everything else like that, right? And right at this moment, there is what's known as the UNDEOF, which stands for United Nations Demilitarization Observation Force.
Okay.
Observer force. Observers, watchers, what? UN, world government, what?
And
Satan
look at the
over the
shape,
whole world,
the pyramid.
what?
Pyramid.
Dude, I'm telling you
You
right
got
now,
it
man.
all.
That's some
Yeah,
crazy
it's
shit.
insane.
So here was some crazy skies that were like right before that storm. This is nuts. I mean, look at these. I've seen some clouds like this. Look at that. Just a couple years ago over us, yeah.
Literally like months ago, I seen it here where I'm at.
That's in Ottawa.
2024.
Yes, and they've actually added like 6 different clouds or 9 different clouds to what there is now.
Oh yeah, the stuff they're teaching the kids. Yeah, man. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like those didn't never exist when I was growing up. Nothing.
What
Where
we
they
had
come
3
now?
to 6, I think it was. It was like three or 6 different clouds. That was it. I don't know.
I think
man.
it was 4. I think there was 4.
Yeah, 4, something like that. Yeah, somewhere in between there. Yeah, no, man, they just
There
making
was
shit up as
Cirrus
they go.
Stratus. There was Cirrus Cumulus. Oh fuck, I don't remember all of them. So you got your new channel. I put your channel link down in the description.
Yes,
And
sir.
you're going to be putting out, are you going to be doing live streams as well as recorded videos, or?
I'm thinking about doing that. Like I said, I just really put in for it today. I was going to do some stuff, but I mean, if you couldn't tell, I'm starting to feel a little under the weather. So while I'm here, I'm just going to do a little couple things. I'm probably going to start off with just a few videos to kind of, get the flow rolling of the channel, and then probably do a live, like maybe once or twice a week with my schedule. I want to make it work, but make it to where it's not too overbearing for me.
Right. Like an hour and a
'Cause
half, maybe.
I gotta research and do all that, which I usually do in my free time as I can, and then just bring it up.
Hell yeah. That's good. I mean, I think it's interesting. You were mainly doing video games before, right?
Yeah. For a while, I tried streaming in the games and stuff like that, but it's one of those things. It's like I was telling my lady, I don't want to make my hobby a job, because then it's like it doesn't have that same zing to it. So it's just like, no, I feel like I could do a little more by doing this instead of doing the gaming. Plus, this kind of pulls me in a little bit more, piques my interest.
Well, and so you basically had a encounter with a highly indoctrinated NPC.
Yeah.
And that pretty much sparked you to come on in and into the truth community and throw your hat in the ring with us out here, finding out
Try
what the
to.
is really going on, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, especially, if I gotta be a father and I gotta teach my kids this stuff, I gotta know what I'm talking about too. That way they're ready for it. Because, man, right now is just the beginning, man. It's gonna be a lot worse when this generation grows up. Like, it's just gonna keep getting worse.
Oh
Might
yeah,
as
and
well have
we've
them
got
ready for it.
such wonderful things on the horizon. Check this out. Wait till you see these. I
Oh,
mean, what
God, I
could go
hate
wrong,
these.
right?
And as you can see, we started up with someone in a robot suit, sort of down, and then we've progressed dramatically year after year. So if you extrapolate this, you're really going to have something spectacular, something that anyone could own. So you could have your own personal R2-D2 C3PO. And I think at scale, this would cost something like, I don't know, $20,000, $30,000. Probably less than a car, is my prediction long term. Now, it'll take us a minute to get to the long term, but fundamentally at scale, the Optimus robot, you should be able to buy an Optimus robot for, I think, probably $20,000 to $30,000 long term. So, and what can it do? It'll basically do anything you want. So it can be a teacher, babysit your kids. It can walk your dog, mow your lawn, get the groceries, just be your friend, serve drinks, whatever you can think of, it will do. And yes.
It'll even, when activated correctly, kill the entire family.
Yeah, if you put one of those in your house, dude, that's crazy. No, absolutely not.
I can't believe people put that fucking Alexa in their house. What was I talking to? Somebody, I said, when you got that in your house? And they was like, well, I like, because it's convenient. I can turn on the lights. And I goes, man, I can turn on the lights with this little thing on the wall. It's called a switch.
Yeah.
I go over and flip it one way and the lights come on, and I flip it the other way and the lights go off. It's pretty simple. That's the thing that sells this bullshit is, oh, look, here's a convenient thing that this does. Here's a task eliminated, even though that's not really a task, turning on a light switch. Still this whole, oh, look how cool it is. Plus it's modern and it's all, people look at it and go, oh, that's really cool and shit like that, because it's a new thing, right? But as we do that, we let these things become more and more and more integrated into our lives as they become more and more intrusive into our lives. I mean, let's face it. I don't think people could actually live in today's society without a fucking cell phone.
Yeah, no. And now I don't get it. But I mean, I guess it's because you got all these kids now that's growing up in the time of cell phones. I was in that in between, so like
Yeah.
I can deal without it, and
Well,
it's sad. They're all stuck all day.
Why do we even call it a phone? That's one of the functions that it does that we rarely use.
Yeah, that's why
Right?
all they did was add smart in front of it. It's
I mean,
just
I can call people on Skype
yeah.
with this computer. Does that mean my computer's a phone? No. So what you basically got is a little fucking computer that you your life is stored in now. You know,
It's
this
a
is
Bill
where they
Gates
get
portable.
this is exactly what this is where they want. This is part of the full spectrum dominance right there. Now they're going to take that next step and take away the ability to use cash and go to a digital fiat monetary system. Oh boy.
Well, they're trying to
Because
push what is it called? The yen currency, something like that, or I can't remember. It's I think it's the
Dwayne or something like that.
It's the Chinese currency.
Yeah, the Dwayne.
Yeah, there you go. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, something like that. They're really trying because I mean, let's be honest, if
It's
they do
gold
something
back.
for that as a world, if they put that as a world transaction, dude, as America, we're
The
fucked.
world reserve. Listen, the
Yeah.
BRICS nations are already online. They're going right now.
Yeah.
Okay, and so and that does include China.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's gold back. It's gold back. It's backed, and it's going on market as backed by tangible physical commodities, whereas ours is backed by nothing. You know, it's basically our monetary system is wimpy. You know, it's going. You know, I'll gladly pay you for a burger Thursday if you give it to me today. You know that bullshit. I mean,
I'll
it's
happily
complete.
repay you Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he was the one that was actually hitting olive oil. 'Cause
Oh, olive oil, yeah.
if you look at Sweet Pea, I mean, he looks way too much like Wimpy. He don't look like Popeye or Bluto. He don't look like neither one of them motherfuckers, right?
No, yeah.
He look a lot like Wimpy though, don't he? Old Wimpy tapping on Popeye's girl and shit, and then begging him for hamburger money. That's a motherfucker right there, you know.
Yeah, that's a real piece of shit right there, boy.
Hey man, that done tapping your old lady. You how about give me some fucking hamburger money, bro?
No.
I can ruin everything from your childhood. Ha!
Oh, I love it. I like the dark stuff. I'd rather listen to the grim stories than the actual fairy tales.
Well, think about Rudolph. We're getting ready to come up on the good old Christmas season, right? And you got good old Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Mm-hmm.
And if you really look at that, what a fucked up story to be telling kids. Okay, so here's this reindeer. He's born with an obvious birth defect, right? A physical deformity that makes him stand out different from the rest of the reindeer. And so these little reindeer, they don't like him because he's different and shit. They say, "Oh, fuck you, Rudolph. You're not allowed to play in our reindeer games and shit because you got a fucking physical anomaly. You're a handicap. You fucker, get away from us. We're not letting you play, right?" And so there he is ostracized because of something he can't do anything about. And Santa's cool with this. Santa's good with it, right? He ain't getting on him about it. Fuck no, he don't care. So what happens? They run into a crisis and they realize that they can exploit his birth defect to their benefit, right?
Yeah.
And so now, because they can exploit him for his physical birth defect, then they turn around and now they like him. They like him all of a sudden because they can use him. What kind of a message are we sending to the kids, man? Really? Billy's in a wheelchair. Oh, wait, he's letting us ride in it. Cool. We like Billy now. You know, fuck
That's fucked
that.
up.
I bet
I
none
never
of you ever
actually
thought
looked
about
at
it
it
that
like
way,
that.
did you?
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Right? And how about this one? When Frosty melted and went down the fucking street grate, but then he came back because of the hat and shit. How much of him was hobo piss? That's how much. That's what I want to know. He got mixed up with hobo piss and chaw spit and all kinds of shit down there in that gutter.
Oh yeah.
We're sorry, Frosty. We've detected an empty vodka bottle in your appendix area, and and your blood is now 40% bum piss. Don't know what to tell you, brother.
Turds for buttons.
What do we got going on over here in the chat? We got a lot of people in 141 tonight. That's pretty good. Got Mr. Skippy 87's joined us. Mike Smith, Boston Ray Mud Flood Adventures here too. John Keeley. Got Forrest in here. There's Jeebus Crisp. Jeebus, just got your voicemail. I just got a notification of a voicemail from you. Thank you for your concern. We were fine, incidentally. Yeah, it's crazy. My phone never tells me when I have voicemails. And then like one day it'll just pop up and go like that. And I look and it'll say visual voicemail. I go into that fucking thing. Oh, okay. And I look and I was like, well, I got this like days ago. Well, you're just not telling me about this shit. Fucking thing.
Yeah.
Crashes. Yeah, these things are the devil. They're from the devil.
Another frequency thing, man. I'm telling you.
It pisses you off. That's what goes on. Look at here's Lowry's in here. I see Lowry. Lowry hasn't clicked that link though. He's scared. He's scared to come on. He's scared. There's Renee. Bernays is here. Sweet Pea was adopted. No, I never wanted to see Robin Williams humiliate himself as Popeye. I couldn't do it.
It was actually really good. I watched it as a kid. It was really good. Like I don't think anyone else could have played him. Like he did it really good. It was a good one.
Robin Williams was a bundle of talent.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah. I loved his stand up. That's how I started liking him. I mean, I watched his movies, but his raw stand up, I love it.
Shit.
He was vulgar.
I remember the first time it was a Christmas of 84. Christmas of 84. Went out to a friend of mine. He lived off post in this little town in Germany. And it was like the first snow, a little mountain town, man. It was this first snow, and it was cool as shit. And we were all tripping on acid, and somebody had rented a VHS of An Evening with Robin Williams. And it was a stand-up show in Marin County. And I swear to God, I laughed so fucking hard. We had to keep pausing the damn thing or we'd half missed it. It was crazy. He was dicking with the audience. He goes out there, he grabs this woman's camera and shit. He says, puts it down his pants and takes a picture and says, there's a special picture for you. He sees somebody in the audience get up to go to the bathroom. He goes, Allison. Or he goes, what's your name? And she goes, Allison. And he says, where are you going? She goes, I'm going to the bathroom. He's like, oh, all right, well, we'll wait. He says, well, we're waiting for Allison to come back from the bathroom. Allison, we can hear you. I mean, he was just like fucking digging with everybody. It was so funny, man. What's happening, Lowry, the Reckoner?
Hey, buddy. I'm just I'm riding the mute button because Nicole's still on the phone with her parents back here for a few more minutes. But I wanted to show you something really fucking great. Have you seen this? Check
Your
this out.
mic's kind of hot. I'm gonna put it automatically.
Yeah, I can.
There you go. You're good. You're good. I got it. I fixed it.
Okay, cool.
You're good.
You got to check this. This is something absolutely. One of the greatest things I've seen. And it's AI, so like you can take it for what you want. Let me see if I got this right. All right, here we go.
Oh, is this the thing you just sent me?
Yeah, just hold on a second. Check.
You want me to pull it up?
I think I already have it. Is it not up? Oh yeah.
I got it now. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, this. Yeah, I was just gonna show that. I swear to God, get out of my head, dude.
I know, man. It's just like I this one really got me. It's AI, guys. It's twisted, but it's kind of brilliant. I don't know, like
make it full screen. Make it full screen. Click the little areas. There you
This
go.
one's crazy.
That is fucking crazy, yo. You're muted. You're muted or something.
So much in that video, dude, and it's insane.
Yeah, it's saying exactly that. And I was like, it's AI, yes, but somebody inputted the enough information into AI to make that. And if you've seen Eyes Wide Shut, the music totally makes sense because it's from that, that one scene.
That made listen, that I was thinking that exact same thing that wow, somebody had to put a lot of info into that to get all that in because there was a lot of reference to shit without really saying it, and I think that was pretty brilliant with Hillary. We saw a common theme with her, didn't we?
Yeah, we saw
regarding a certain food.
And we had,
Mhm.
we had the I mean, this is stuff that not everybody's ready to talk about. And like, it's probably one of the hardest pills for me to swallow was like, this is the way I've always talked about it. It's like, look, if you are, maybe you don't, you're not religious or you're whatever it is, whatever you believe in God or a creator or whatever, or you don't, these people believe in the thing that they get into and they practice it. And, there's stories about Kubrick who, was killed. Like, he didn't get his last 20 minutes of edit in the thing. And hold on. It's Nicole. She's talking about spaceships with her parents right now.
Oh no.
Yeah, but what I was saying was like there's so much in that movie that was missing and they took it out,
Yeah, there was. Well, they killed him before the release of it, I believe. I think he died. Let me put it that way. He died.
He died would be the, the going, I guess, parlance of conspiracy talk, right? But like we also had we had a hold on a second. You guys keep talking about that.
Oh no, yeah, you're good. I was gonna say actually, I'm starting to get worse. It's been a while. I'm probably gonna go ahead and cut it here for me.
Yeah, I'm only gonna go another 15 minutes anyway here.
Okay.
So
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some medicine in me and get some rest, man. But hey, I appreciate you having me on, letting me get out what I needed to. Like I said, I encourage everybody, if you are interested in it, do your own research because this was only days of research and I found all of that. And we didn't touch on everything, but the major bit. It doesn't take much, just a little bit of effort. Goes a
That's
long
just
way.
enough to get you whet your appetite. I put the link to that PDF file is in the description to this video tonight. I guess I can put it back and put it in the chat again too. But I think it's really interesting that it's kind of like you kind of went into it like a God damn it, I'm gonna let people know type of thing like I did, it's like, you run across like the right person that just sets you like, God, there can't be people like this. It can't be. People have to see this. This is unreal. Yeah, and I think that's awesome. The channel born out of that's going to be fire. And of course, let me, once you get some stuff loaded up or you're going to have a live or whatever, let me know. I have a little bit more reach, even though I'm shadow banned, and I can, put it out in a community post that you're going to have a live show, recommend it, whatever the case may be like that. And, get your subscriber count built up. Even though he doesn't have any videos up yet, I would encourage you go ahead and go over and subscribe to him because Sebastian will follow through. He's going to put some things up post haste, and I'm going to let me see. Where is your hang on. Let me go over
thank you.
here.
Barbara just put it. Thank you for putting.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Barbara. I was just looking. I got all
Awesome.
these fucking tabs open up.
Yeah. Like I said, man, I appreciate it. Let me come up here. Like I said, yeah, if you are interested, I'm gonna be breaking some things down. I got at least 3 video ideas I'm ready to just go ahead and put out. I just need the time. I just need the time.
I love the deep dive on the weather manipulation. Everyone forgot about that, and like we've been looking at this stuff for years, and like it's everyone suddenly forgot about it. I'm like, look, I mean, it's still there. It's everybody has a microwave in their kitchen. It's simple technology. Heat up water, moves water around, or it does something. It propagates in a different way, and like you have to remind people. It's like, look, this tech has been there. It's been there. You know,
and it's
Well, it's
doing
like we
nothing
were
but
saying,
advancing.
Lowry. It's like we were saying, a cocktail. You know,
it's a combination of multiple things together. It's not one particular
Right.
process. But like, I mean, again, you heat up burritos in your microwave. It's the same tech. It's been
Yes,
around for
friction,
years.
frequency, all of
the
it.
wrapper doesn't get hot.
I know. Right?
Yeah.
Right. So what's up with that? Right. So what's that tell you? That tells you that the heating is based on moisture content. Okay,
Yeah.
because water molecules vibrate. When the molecules vibrate, they cause friction and they heat up. This is how the microwave works. And so something requires some moisture in order for it to get hot in a microwave.
Yeah.
And those millimeter waves, the more the more higher vibration, they just move the molecules around and make it hotter. That's how it works. It's not Star Trek technology. It's like 50s technology. You know, you get these arguments with people, and they're like, no, they can't do that. Oh, yes, they can. And guess what? When they can move something around and make it look like an act of God, so that no one gets blamed for it, use it as a weapon. I think that's pretty powerful.
You only need at least 20 hertz of frequency. And they're saying that just one of these heart places produces around 10. It's halfway there already, man. Like, and then, yes, you only need 20 to make a little bit. But imagine multiple of these spaced out across the country. Do whatever you want, like the lasers we were seeing. You can do what you want, man. It's insane.
You know, when people talk about HARP, right? I've tried to say this for years. That's old fucking shit, man.
They got
That's
like three different
That's
devices
old.
now.
They've got much more efficient, better methods now. Mobile. Plus, they've got these little Doppler fucking stations set up all over the place.
You may know the name of it. It's these things. It's they look like really tall, just beams, just straight poles, and they're in rectangles. I can't remember the name of them, but those are a more modern version.
I understand it as NexRad.
Okay.
There's a guy that he's called Monkey Works. He tracks all the military planes. He's a pretty popular channel on YouTube, but he also looks into, you know, what else is going on with radar. And so if you guys have seen these Doppler balls, you know, they're white balls that sit up on a tower.
Yep.
We've all seen them, you know. Yeah, of course they do track they track weather, but they're also able to produce microwave energy and fire it out. I mean, we've all seen birds die around you know, these dishes. We've seen animals die around it, you know, like plants and that sort of thing. That high frequency vibration that you know, we call it 5G, or it's known in modern parlance as 5G. It's vibrating so fast, it's moving the water molecules so much that it destroys the cellular, basically the cellular structure of a bird, say, at high enough power, it could destroy a person. But it also moves water in the atmosphere, and you can nudge it and perturbate, you know, the situation and get the clouds moving in a certain way. I mean, just from my perspective, if I wanted to have a weapon where I wouldn't be blamed for attacking another country, I'd want one that looks like it's an act of nature. I mean, it's just logic to me. It's like that's what it is. You know?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, also on another thing too, this shit in the Middle East, man, this is crazy. They've basically, look, it's there again, time short. I think these guys are going for an all out. If you're not aware of like the Greater Israel Project,
Yeah, I saw that.
find out about it, and it will make you kind of understand. Well, still, I can't understand unless what they got going on. But they've got it. Basically, they've started a war on 6 fronts. They're fighting with Syria. They're fighting with Yemen. They're fighting with Egypt. They're fighting with Lebanon. They're fighting with Iran. What the fuck? It's like everyone around them. And I was like, oh my God, that's that Greater Israel Project. And then I ran across this. Stu Peters. Check this out.
It was all planned. It was all orchestrated. It was all fake. Israel's entire war is fake. Not because real people aren't dying and being killed, not because real women and children aren't being slaughtered by Jewish monsters, because they are, but because this entire sequence of events has been planned for decades. None of this is happening organically. It's all a setup. It's a setup to give Israel the pretext that it needs for conquering the entire Middle East and using American blood and treasure to do it.
Now, not to say I told you so, but if you'll go back to about a year in my videos, you'll see where I did a show on October the 7th of last year when this whole thing started erupting over there. Okay. And I said, this, I believe, is a pretext for the Greater Israel Project. And holy shit, are they not following in exactly like I thought? Now they're going for broke.
To allow these Jewish monsters to commit genocide, to commit ethnic cleansing, and bring in their own demonic lizard people to occupy the land. They'll shapeshift into residents of the former Iraq or residents of the former Syria and tell us that they owned that land the entire time. They'll tell us that God chose them or something. They're already doing this in Gaza. They're already doing this in the West Bank. They're already doing this in Lebanon. And as soon as they white phosphorus 30,000 people to death in Lebanon, they'll be doing it there too. Because right now, the time is right.
They have been using white phosphorus weapons. That's supposed to be a big no-no.
Yeah, like I would say also, Sav, like a future, you should do a full episode in the future on the root spiritual war that's actually happening. And I honestly, like, I'm in the same spot as a lot of people on this. It's just like, it's like you've got, and I'm not going to say any names, you've got a small group of people that feel that they're chosen. They don't make any distinctions about which different color is the goyim outside of their thing. They're all goyim. And it reminds me, biblically, it reminds me of Cain and Abel. It just does. I'm not saying that that's what it is, but I'm like, what is the original spiritual war? A bunch of people that think they're entitled to the entire world and everyone else is shit. And what are these people actually? What are their names? What do you call themselves? Are they buried in the midst of another population that doesn't know that they've got these people living within their population, calling them that, calling them?
Yeah.
Intertwined with bullshit.
That's Nicole. She's on it. She's on it too.
She just saw the footage.
Yeah, and so like, you go.
Candy cane, or are you able?
See, that's why I have it. That's why I have a Nicole. I have a Nicole. She doesn't.
Both my grandmas are twins.
She doesn't mince words.
Sorry.
What in the world is she going on about?
Oh, we're just talking about the same. It's the same cannibal, Cain and Abel, cannibal. The original.
Oh yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, Cain and Abel, cannibal. The original problem.
Can Nicole?
Yeah. Anyway,
I do not remember the name of it. But there's, I think the background is a scene of war. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I don't remember what the name of the stream was. Hell, I can't. That's one of those things. It's like, holy shit. No, I don't. It's about a year ago though.
Yeah,
there could be a pretext.
You hear like all these people, and like we're all kind of in it. The whole spiritual war and everything. You could try to like figure out what side is what. Yeah, there's a lot of different sides, and everybody fighting against each other because they have these different cultural positions. But can't you boil it down really? Even if it's metaphorical, if you don't believe the Bible or whatever that you're into, you've got a side that's a psychopathic side that doesn't have empathy, and the other side that does have empathy. That's the boiling it down to the yin and the yang war that all this is. And I've always been able to kind of see that because like the usury that's been operated, it's like somebody created a whole economic world for the one single people could live inside of and basically enslave a giant part of the other side.
Yep.
That's me.
We fell for it, hook, line, and sinker.
Did we have a choice? I mean, we were kids. We were born into it. You know?
Well, no, I mean, collectively as a species, we felt well, which is ludicrous to me. But there again, I'm seeing more and more people bringing this to light, more and more people waking up. This blind support for a criminal element posing as a country in the Middle East. I mean, that used to just blow me away. What the hell are you doing that you can support the actions of these people like that? And if anybody else were to do what they do, the United States Marine would be in there stomping the shit out of them, right? Where are they at?
Yeah.
No. This is just going on. This is just going on. And people, and if you ask them, they always have the same program response, all these politicians. They're our best ally in the region. They've always been a close ally of the United States, blah, 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 blah. It's like, holy shit. Yeah, but they're white. They're killing civilians with white phosphorus, man.
Yeah.
What in the world is wrong with you? If you don't know what white phosphorus is horrific.
It's nasty.
And you can't extinguish it with water. That just makes it worse.
Yeah.
And what were we saying about being 70% water earlier?
Yeah. No, right. Yeah. The whole, yeah. I mean, I just think I think we're kind of learning like what the original war was or what the war has always been. And there's a lot of people trying to figure out how to talk about it. So like, you're not getting completely wrecked on social media about,
right.
The hardest thing with me was trying to figure out who would hide within a certain population and use it as a divisive sort of tool, pretending to be a certain person. And then, doing that one thing, which is the nastiest thing I think anyone can ever do to another person, which is blaming them for something that you're blatantly doing. You blame somebody else.
Oh my God, that's right out of the Communist Manifesto.
Nasty as fuck, dude.
Accuse your enemy of doing what you're doing. Absolutely, they do that all the time.
Nasty.
Oh yeah. Let's see where he goes with this point here too.
Yeah.
They've been waiting for this.
That's what I said.
Because over the past few years, the Jews have seized more power than they ever have before. They have seized more control. They have seized more influence. And that's why we all must be willing to name them. Since 2020, the rollout of the...
Now you got to keep in mind too, this is not, they're arresting Jews in Israel right now that are protesting the actions. A lot of your Orthodox Jews are going, no, this is wrong. In fact, there's a whole segment of the Jewish population that don't agree that Israel is even supposed to exist.
Yeah, and I
can't put that one label. You see, and that's I think what you were kind of hinting at, that they masquerade. There is a cabal of what am I looking for? Occultist?
It's occultist, or you could
like Jewish black magic, basically.
Yeah, Jewish mysticism, and there's also and like Stu. I'm glad there's a Stu Peters in the world. I feel like he's using the Jew word over the entire Jewish population, which is like, I know it's easiest for most people, listeners, to get that. I would like to divide that up and get that language actually correct. Like, I would more so call it Jewish Zionism, or perhaps
Zionism,
an offshoot of the Bolsheviks, or even go further back. There's the old Silk Road bandits. I think the Khazars. Again,
yes.
I need to look at that a lot more.
Listen, Bolshevism, perfect. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. That's what we're seeing, masquerading behind a religion.
And then asking regular Jewish people that are good Jews, like asking them to run cover for them.
Right, exactly.
And they do it
through a brotherhood of solidarity type thing. Yeah.
And how do you have public discourse with that? Like, how do you actually do that without the programming coming back from everyone being like, anti-Semite, anti-Semite? No, not really. I'm just like really mad at the guy that's hijacked an entire economy of the place we live in. And like really just pure, like, they want all the money. They want everything. It's like this old joke. It's like, and I'm not saying Jews. It's like call it the the Khazars or the Silk Road bandits. They throw all the money in the air, and whatever money God doesn't take, they keep. You know, and like it's an old joke, and it's like, but it's like we got to figure out who these people are. You know, not the rest of the people who identify as Jewish or anything else. It's just like
it's obviously part of this because if you know what Zionism is, it is a one world order based out of Jerusalem, over the rest of us, as they say, okay, as the Goyim, a slave population. Well, they've already got us enslaved. You know, let's face it, they really do. An overwhelming amount of our officials, so to speak, in Washington, D.C., carry dual citizenship with this, what I will say is, in my opinion, an illegitimate country. I mean, its whole establishment was not even legitimate.
Yeah,
and you understand, if you understand Zionism and communism, they go hand in hand. It's totalitarian control is what it absolutely is. Okay. Ultimately, I don't care. You can put whatever fucking label you want to on it. It's world domination, totalitarian regime is what they're striving for. Now, part of the goal of these Zionists is this Greater Israel Project, which is like everything between the Euphrates River and the Tigris. Well, there's some shit standing in the way of that, and it just happens to be like Syria, Iran, Lebanon, these places.
Oh my
and
God!
If you look at their
Like,
battlefronts, it almost matches the proposed map of the Greater Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hot mess, man. It's a hot mess. You know what? I would love to do that with you, Sav, at some point in time, and take a deep dive on the Khazars and like the Bolsheviks, and like I know a bit about it.
Yeah, it's amazing. And you know, Marx, whose name was not Marx, it was
Steinberg,
Levy, I think, or something like that. Anyway, they were financed right out of Brooklyn. Trotsky,
yeah,
right from Brooklyn, sent here from Brooklyn, United States, over there.
Yeah,
At the height of when, World War I was occurring, all the Russian soldiers were fighting in World War I. And then in October, the Russian Revolution starts to take place. So all these Russian soldiers, they're on the fucking front. They just left the war. They left the fucking war and went to fight in the communist against the communist revolutionaries.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jehovah's daughter, Barbara, she says, good point here. The Khazarians are not the real Hebrews, they're the usurpers. And like usurping, yes, facts. That's Nicole. She knows. Like usurping is like one of a misunderstood term that everyone needs to learn. You know, basically when you lock the teacher out of the classroom and you go in and start to teach the class while the teacher is at the bathroom, you've usurped, you know, a bunch of people and pretended like you're the great pretender.
Yeah.
The great pretender. They are the deceivers of all time, you know, like, or you, again, we can wax biblical and go all the way back to like the great deceiver of the devil. This is a group of people that don't have any empathy. They usurp someone else's identity. Like in the Silk Road, they would just presume to be people trading goods along the Silk Road after killing them halfway down the road. I mean, this is what we're up. This is what we're up against. A user empathy. Yeah, you're right. You're right, baby.
Well, I've got a short video. I'm not going to show it tonight because I got to get off here now. I'm like 5 minutes over my prescribed time. But anyway, I'll share that with you one of these nights. I've shown it on here before, and it goes into how they biblically are not the chosen people because of what tribe they come from. The blessing not being passed along, but down to Joseph and not to Judah. So there's a lot behind that. It's pretty interesting. It's only like a 15-minute video, but I'll link it to you here later. But anyway, like I said, Sebastian Break the Veil is launching a new channel. Thank you for everyone who's gone over there to his channel and subscribed. Even though there's no videos up yet, that's going to change post haste. He's just starting it up. I think it's cool the way he got fired up by an NPC. He said, "Fucking, I'm going to put this shit out there. That's how we're doing it."
Nice.
Fuck it. But
All
yeah,
right.
thank you everybody who subscribed. You know, I've been keeping an eye. I got a few that you know, have been doing it since the video. But yeah, like just be patient. I got a couple good things I want to put out there and see what y'all's takes are on it. But yeah, stick around, and like I said, thank you for having me up on here, man. I appreciate it. And
Look
I'm
at there.
gonna
What are we up to? 55. We're up to 55 subscribers over there now.
And just to make sure, it's Break the Veil. That's what it is. Break the Veil. That's what it's called.
Break the Veil. The link is in the title of the video tonight. So you can click on that link where it's highlighted, and you can go over to his channel, subscribe to it. I know there's no videos yet, but like I said, that's going to change post haste. Lowry, I know you guys got your tinfoil sombrero show that you do.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll
big
have
shout out to that.
We'll have you on
next
again, and maybe we'll have Break the Veil on. You get some videos up. We'll have you on too. We can talk about shit.
Hell yeah. When's your next show for that, or is that just a TBD?
Every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have Patricia Steer on this weekend, and then Whitson gets that. I think it's going to come on either next week or the week after, and like we're
it's Sunday.
And she's on here too. She's what keeps me balanced. Like just when I get too serious, then she starts yelling. So I love it. So
oh yeah.
Anyway, Sav, I'm gonna pop off. Love you, buddy. Break the Veil.
Right on, man.
Sub, and you guys have a good night. Okay.
Appreciate it, man. Good talking to you, man.
Yeah, cheers, man.
All right. And just gonna real quick finish watching this Stu Peters clip, and then we'll cut her out.
The COVID-19 scamdemic genocidal bioweapon. We have witnessed firsthand the biggest Jewish power grab since the 1913 founding of the United States Federal Reserve, which conquered America for this disgusting Jewish central banking cabal and turned us into.
He's going on a tirade there. Somebody going to get pissed off about that. We better cut that off of there. So we've got, like I said, I want to thank Sebastian for coming up there from Break the Veil. He's going to be putting out some pretty cool shit here. I think that's awesome that he got fired up by an NPC, and it just so happens I know who that NPC is. So yeah, it stands to reason I can understand. Interesting. So as we always like to, I want to thank everybody for showing up. We had a lot here at one time. I had like 150 people watching. That was pretty awesome, man. So let's see. Oh, there's Maria Walker showed up here too. Just now noticing, looking over here. And Shifty Eye Shady doing good, keeping his ass sober. That's a good thing. Good. Glad to see you doing a good thing like that, Shifty. Anyway, want to tell everybody to remember that the Lord loves a working man. Don't trust Whiting. See your doctor and get rid of his ass because he'll probably kill you. We'll see you next time here on Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. Ain't that right? Something wrong. See? If that's true, don't say anything. All right. All right. We'll see you next time, guys.